Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. So good to see you guys again. Actually, I'm not seeing you at all. I'm just staring at my own face. But so good to hang out with you guys again on this fine Wednesday, February 26, 2025. My goodness, we're already at the end of February. Next week is going to be the first Wednesday in March. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. My name is Rocky Ballesteros. Welcome to My Wednesday Comics. This is a weekly show that I put on to go over or to share with you guys the comics that I pick up every week. You guys know that. But for the newbies who might stumble on this channel, that's what we do. I love going to the comic book store on Wednesdays. New comic books, for the most part, come out on Wednesdays. We've had a couple conversations in previous shows just about all the diamond distributor mess, and that always throws comic book shops off left and right. The shop I went to today, Comics Experience, they said they didn't even get their Marvel. They'll probably get their Marvel stuff this evening. Apparently some delivery truck crashed or something crazy like that. So that's delayed a little bit for them. And but yeah, usually new comic books coming out every Wednesday. But this week is also pretty awesome because took a little road trip this weekend and went to a store that I don't normally go to, which had great back issue stuff and graphic novels. So I picked up a few of those, and the back issue things are kind of cool. I'll give you guys a little teaser. And the little teaser is ASHCANS. I found a few boxes that they had in their back issue bins that were just ASHCANS. And for those of you who don't know, ASHCANS are smaller. I believe the size is like 6x9 format, I think. I'll measure it here in a second. But put out by companies. I don't see them that often these days, but they were definitely big in the like 90s, 2000s, where companies would preview books that are coming out and release like little ASHCANs. They usually wouldn't charge for them. Sometimes they'd be free at a store, or they would bundle them up with trade magazines like Wizard Magazine or Hero Magazine. In this particular case, I have a couple that came into Hero Magazine. But they were just a cool way to see what new book might be coming, like kind of build the hype on a new book coming out. And most of the time they would print them pretty low quality, like almost felt like they were printed at Kinko's, and just like a piece of paper folded in half. So they were like low quality. They'd be black and white. Sometimes they'd print them a little bit higher quality, but maybe like 6 to 9 pages, giving a little teaser. It's almost like watching a trailer for a movie. So they also become, because they're pretty rare, they've become collectibles too. And not that I really collect them, but I just found it interesting that the particular store that I went to had two boxes that were just dedicated to ASHCANs. That was the first time I've ever seen them, and they were all pretty affordable. So I grabbed a few of those. Those will be the last things we look at today because I wanted to save the best for last. So yeah, it's gonna be a cool week. I didn't think I would get that many like current books this week, but I actually got 4. One of them was a holdover from last week, but that's pretty cool. Then some graphic novels, and then ASHCANs to look at. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a fun show and beautiful weather right now. I love to check the temperature every time I'm on stream. What's my weather at? 67 degrees right now. Beautiful, cloudless 67 degree day right now. And it's a happy Wednesday. It really is a happy Wednesday. What's up, Cranberry Landers?
This is a cranberry full of power.
Happy to see you. Happy Wednesday. Wednesday. Always never liked why Wednesday was spelled the way it is. I'm sure there's some Roman, Latin, I don't know. Where did the word Wednesday come from? I'm sure that's an easy Google search. But Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Mark's Music Obsession. How you doing, Mark? Mark, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to share a little bit of a thing that you just shared in the chat. Mark placed a link in the chat, and this is, as I saw it, I was like, I gotta share this. We gotta start the stream off right, because this is, I mean, I think I have beautiful weather right now, which I do, but check this out. Check this out. Mark's Music Obsession posted this link for all of us to share. Like he said, this is 15 minutes away from his house. Like, are you kidding me? That is beautiful. Let's all just take a deep breath. I can smell the salty sea air, white sands. That's amazing, Mark. That is beautiful. I love that that is really close to your home and that you could just go there and like take it all in whenever you want to. Like, it's beautiful. I know you've been going through a rough patch, but yeah, just being able to go and stare out at nature, stare at the horizon that goes off into infinity, take in the vastness of the ocean and the sky. Yeah, that'll help calm the soul. So glad you have that. Cranberry says 487 subs. That's right. We're at 487 subs on our way to 500. I did mention in the chat, I lost a subscriber. Went down to, it was at 488 for a few days, and then it went down to 487. Just one subscriber, but I was like, boop. Like, it was kind of, it kind of gave me one of these. Oh, it was kind of sad, but you know what? I'm committed that we are going to gain that 488. Whoever you are, 488, we're going to win you back 488. Maybe in the span of this stream right here. Let's see. Emo Trash. What's up, Emo Trash? Good to always see you. She said her internet let her join. Good job, internet, letting her join. Evening. Really? 3, 5, I guess. Is that considered evening? When is the evening of it? What is the official evening hour? Is it 5 o'clock? Or I always imagine evening is like when it gets dark. Sometimes on the short days, it gets dark here at like 4:30, but it's slowly pushing out again, which I hated it when it got dark so early. But sure, we'll call it evening, Emo Trash. I know it's 3 hours ahead where you are. Mighty Geek Studios, what's new, Rocky? What up, Mighty Geek Studios? We've got some good stuff today. Nice shop, you're saying, in that trailer. Yep, that was Dr. Kane's Comics, and I visited that one before. I didn't visit it recently, but I have visited that shop before. Great owner, great little shop. Not too big, but it was, I think what made that shop for me was it was just a pleasant space to walk into. It was like really organized well and nice, and it's just inviting to walk into. And then the owner, his name slipped my mind right now. Excuse me. But he was very, very nice and just struck up a great conversation with him. And that's a huge part of what I love in comic book stores is just talking to either the owners or the people that work behind the counter and talking comics, you know. Today I went to Comics Experience to pick up some of my books, and the owner, Brian, was working the counter behind, and we didn't really get to talk much about comics. We were just trying to figure out, he was handing me a copy of Batman and Robin Year One, which I went over last week on this show. And he said, here you go. And he also handed me another book, which I'll show you guys later. But I was like, oh, I already have that book. And then our conversation was like, wait, then why did it get pulled in my box? And he was like, did you buy it at another store? And I'm like, I don't remember. Like, I visit so many stores. And it's weird. There are some books that I like to have pulled. And then there's some books I just pull off the rack on my own. And where I buy those books depends on where I am. You know, I'll go back to the store where I have a box and I'll go get books there. But then, like, some days I don't go to that store and I'm at another store and I pick up an it. Like, it's all kind of confusing. I think I'm spread over too many stores in the city, which is a good thing. But in this particular case, we were like, well, then how did it get in my box if I already have it? And I know I already have that issue. So anyway, that was our conversation. But yeah, it's you know, that being able to talk to the owner and just chat and be part of the experience is really fun. So I love it. Let's see. Do you have any art books by Dan DeCarlo? Cranberry Landers asks. Oh, I don't think I do. I honestly, when I was a kid, I think Dan DeCarlo is amazing. And if you know, Dan DeCarlo is actually a huge influence on Bruce Timm, who Bruce Timm is like upper echelon of artists, specifically in animation, but amazing comic book artists. But Dan DeCarlo is a huge influence on Bruce Timm's work. And if you look at the way Bruce Timm draws women, you can see the Dan DeCarlo influence in that. But I was never a big Archie Comics fan as a kid. I think I was just so locked into superheroes, sci-fi, action adventure, fantasy. And Archie was like, you know, it was okay. Like slice of life, goofy school shenanigans. I did like the art in Archie Comics. And I just have this recollection of always reading Archie Comics like in the bathroom. I don't know why that is. That's really weird, but I do. Like, I just have this picture of like Archie Comics in a basket next to the toilet, and you would just sit there and read Archie Comics. That was a weird memory that just came back there. So I don't think I have any Dan DeCarlo stuff. I know there's been some great art of Dan DeCarlo books that have come out. I think there's even like a Dan DeCarlo's, like the Women of Dan DeCarlo or whatever, because he just captured the cutie, beautiful, voluptuous, but like really cute and innocent looking gals. And I think they dedicated a whole book to that. But that's a great question. Why are you asking, Cranberry Landers? I'm curious. Why is it coming up? Sade Comics, what's up, Phil? Awesome to see you here. How are you doing? How you doing? Hope all is well with you. Always bringing the devil horns. What's up? Cranberry Lander says you might have to take off for a bit. No problem. Mighty Geek Studios says ASHCANS were originally used to secure copyrights and trademarks. Oh, no kidding. Huh. I guess like to get it out there as soon as possible, maybe before the book was done. That's cool. That's a really cool tidbit of info. Thanks for sharing that. Unhinged, what's up, Jason? I have the Grendel Batman Ashcan from Heroes. Oh, that's awesome. I believe that Heroes magazine, which was a competitor with Wizard, I feel like Heroes that was like one of their ways of outdoing Wizard magazine was to include ASHCANS. And I even think they numbered their ASHCANS. Like I almost think, and I didn't subscribe to Heroes magazine, but I feel like every issue had an ASHCAN. And like Wizard would have trading cards and posters, but I believe Heroes was the one that like bagged them with ASHCANS, which is such a great thing. I love the ASHCAN format. I think it's so cool. But yeah, that's awesome. Grendel Batman, awesome. Matt Wagner, that's so great. Was it in black and white, Jason? I'd love to know that. Michael Bancroft is here. The Bancroft. The White Shant is here.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
How you doing, Michael Bancroft? Great seeing you here. I haven't talked to you in a while. It's cloudless at 70 now, with 76 earlier in Florida. Goodness, it's beautiful, beautiful weather. Thank you for sharing that video and allowing us to. Maybe we'll have like a Mark's Music Obsessions minute at the beginning of my streams, and you can send me a video of your weather there, because you 9 times out of 10 have better weather and better views than we all do. So that's amazing. I'm pretty sure Wednesday is actually of Anglo-Saxon descent. Probably right. Yeah, it doesn't look Latin. I just threw that out there. It's not Farsi. It's not of Chinese descent. But yeah, Anglo-Saxon, that sounds right. That sounds right. Emo Trash bringing the history. Saturday is named after the planet Saturn. Yes. I think more specifically the god Saturn, I think. Goodness. Do all the days... I'm like running through the days in my head. Are all the days from the days of the week from the same era, or are they like different? Gotta Google search it. Mark's Music Session says, I wish it would have displayed in 1080p like I uploaded it. Thanks, Rocky. Yeah, I think it's because I'm streaming, like just streaming off of your link. But maybe if I downloaded it and then uploaded it into my Ecamm, it would have been a higher res. But yeah, it's beautiful. And for those of you who can access the link, Mark dropped it in the chat. You can see it in all its 1080p glory because it's beautiful, beautiful. I live about 5-minute drive from Lake Erie. You can smell the refuse that floats in it. Oh my gosh. Then we'll have minute 2 in the stream where Jason uploads a video of garbage floating in Lake Erie. That would be cool. We could sandwich it between, we could sandwich the stream between Mark's beautiful, like, you know, coast, Gulf view, and then Lake Erie and the trash. Oh gosh. You win some, you lose some. That's yeah, that's good. That's a good idiom right there. You do. You tend to lose a lot more than you win. That's kind of the season I'm in right now. But today I won a lot, and if winning means putting down money to buy comics, today I won. Mark's Music Session says, Bancroft, sadly my package was delayed. Hopefully be here tomorrow. All right, Bancroft. Got to call that international shipping. Crack that whip. Crack the Australian whip. Okay, let's see. I'm going to miss it when it gets dark early. I'm going to miss when it gets dark early. I don't like it getting. I need more daylight. I need the vitamin D, the sun rays to like lift my spirits. Most San Francisco is known for the foggy days, especially during the summer. Right now is like very beautiful weather when it's sunny, but during the summer the fog tends to roll in quite a bit. And they even named the fog. It's called Carl the Fog. It's like this ongoing joke or whatever. But you know, we're used to it, and there's things that I really love about the fog. It's just kind of like a cozy blanket sometimes. But there are stretches when it's just foggy all the time, and I'm like, good, I just need the sun to like pierce through and like lift me out of my dreary like mood, just because you're seeing overcast cloud all the time. And I'm one of those people that's affected by the weather. Like my mood is generally affected by the weather. So when it's a sunny day like this, it's really awesome. Rocky, you started without me. How dare you? John says.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
Are you talking about Greta Thunberg, her voice? I've seen that clip so many times, like as memes and all that. And goodness. No, I didn't mean to start without you, John. Definitely not for you to pull out the Greta Thunberg voice. We just started when we started, but I'm glad you are here nonetheless. Spring is coming, and so is all the unholiness that comes with it. You are just one of those, emo trash. Already been feeling it. All right. Unhinged says, I like it dark early, but not the cold weather. But why? Why do you guys like it dark early? Is it so that you can like cozy up and get in bed earlier, or it's just like it's harder to drive when it's darker. You know, people don't walk out. Yeah, like it gets colder when it gets darker sooner. I don't know. I love the sun. I love the sun. Wednesday is one of few Old English origin. Oh, okay. Mark's music session. Thanks, John. Had a great sunrise video from the house today, but deleted after putting it on Facebook. Oh, okay. Sunrise. Yeah, I'm not a morning person. So I'm all about the sunsets. We get some beautiful sunsets where I live because we're not too far from the Pacific Ocean. So for some reason, the sunsets here are kind of stunning. So, but yeah, I don't usually wake up early enough to catch sunrises. And if I do, I go back to sleep. So I'm more of a sunset kind of guy. With this big empty house, we need a gathering of comic geeks. Oh my goodness, we're going to have Mark's MMO Con, right? That's what it is. I could see the influence of Dan DeCarlo and Bruce Timm's work. Yep. I didn't ever actually connect those dots until I saw a Bruce Timm. Oh, I think I might have it. Oh my, let me pull it out. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. All right, I guess I do have a little bit of a Dan DeCarlo thing I can share here. So, this is a book called Modern Masters. It was a whole series that came out by Tomorrow's Publishing. Where's the logo? Tomorrow's Publishing. Or did they have it? Oh yeah, Tomorrow's. There, right there, Tomorrow's. And Tomorrow's is great because the reason why they called Tomorrow's is because the editors, their last name was Morrow. And let me just make sure I'm getting that right. I mean, it doesn't matter. But anyway, they have this series called Modern Masters, and I have a whole bunch of these because I'm all about the like history, the like biographies of comic book artists, and I love seeing their artwork and just their progression. So this one's one of my prized possession ones. This one's actually hard to find now. So they've stopped publishing. I don't even know if they're a publisher still. I think they are, but I don't know if they print stuff anymore. I think they're more like digital publishing stuff. But this series, Modern Masters, have gone through like tons of artists, and I have a whole bunch of them. And this Bruce Timm one is very hard to find. If you look on eBay, it's quite expensive to find. So anyway, I never really made the connection to Dan DeCarlo and Bruce Timm, I think, until I read it here in this book. Sorry, just pushing my keyboard out of the way. Ah, dang it. Okay. So yeah, right here, Bruce Timm talks about his influences, which is really cool. So Jack Kirby, obvious. Harvey Kurtzman, not so obvious with Bruce Timm stuff, but I can see it for sure. Wally Wood, John Buscema, again, I can see it. Alex Toth, for sure, can see in Bruce Timm's work. Frazetta, for sure. And then here, Dan DeCarlo. Let me zoom in. Oops. So you guys can see it a little better. And look, Steranko. Steranko is an influence also. So Dan DeCarlo, he says, Dan DeCarlo. Is that in focus? Always got to check my focus. Dan DeCarlo, sorry, Yo-Yo. Okay, here. Dan DeCarlo is one of those guys that became influenced by Through the Back Door. I had read some Archie comics when I was a kid, not a lot of them, much more into the superhero stuff. I had already formulated my basic pretty girl theory early on during Batman. There was the influence of Frazetta on the facial construction. There was Lynn Naylor. Lynn Naylor is an incredible animation artist. Got to meet her. She was really introverted, really shy, but she worked with Bruce Timm. He basically hired her on. If you look at the Art of Batman, the animated series book, he talks about Lynn Naylor in particular, because he was trying to design the girls for the show at the beginning, and he just felt they were too like manly and too like aggressive, and so he hired on Lynn Naylor to come and just design the female characters, and she totally nailed it. And Lynn Naylor came from, I believe she had her background, she had her start working on like the Ren and Stimpy series, I think, and she drew a lot of the like cutie cute girls for that too. So yeah, Lynn Naylor unlocked the door to drawing pretty girls in Batman animated style for me. So those influences were already gelling for me when someone pointed out Dan DeCarlo's work. At the time, I only knew vaguely who he was, but to me, he was just another one of those Archie guys. I think it was Glenn Murakami. We've looked at some of his work before on my stream, who's a great designer. Showed me these Dan DeCarlo comics, and I could see they were better than the run-of-the-mill Archie comics. Blah, blah, blah. Other Archie artists were good. Work is professional, but they don't quite have the same structural solidity. And that's awesome to like, for him to kind of acknowledge that or like notice that about DeCarlo's stuff, because yeah, you did. And I think maybe a lot of the Archie stuff that I saw growing up didn't appeal to me as much, because I don't know if they were all Dan DeCarlo that I was looking at. Probably not. And you can see the difference between his stuff, and it's like Mickey Mouse artists or people that draw a licensed character. You have your favorites, and you can tell the artists who are like really, really amazing artists, and they're still drawing the licensed character, versus those artists who just know the style and the like iconography of a particular character, but they don't really have the like foundational structural life drawing skills that some of the legends do. And so it kind of falls flat. It loses a little bit of its believability, and the storytelling isn't as great. So it's kind of cool for Bruce Timm to mention that. Dan was a really good storyteller. I've seen some of the work he's done before Archie. He even did some one-page gags for some of the Martin Goodman's men's magazines in the 50s, really exaggerated, blah, blah, blah. Bill Ward is another one. If you don't know Bill Ward's art, Cranberry Langers, and you like Dan DeCarlo stuff, definitely check out Bill Ward. His women were very zaftig. Ooh, I've never heard of that word. And bouncy and lively. Started getting into stuff, collecting as much as I could. Even though the Timm girl facial characteristics were already in place, the little button nose and the big wide smile and the big round eyes from looking at Dan's work, I could see that he was doing it better than I was. Very cool. So there you go. Dan DeCarlo. Look at these beautiful. I love the Dan DeCarlo profiles too. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Like the profile on his girls. So appealing. Really cute. Anyway, that's cool. Cool little sidetrack. This is that Bruce Timm, the Bruce Timm book I was talking about. Goodness. Crooked. I know that this camera angle is crooked because the grain is crooked. But yeah, if you're interested in Bruce Timm's work, and it is hard to find this. It is quite expensive to find it, but if you can find it, it's worth the nab because it's amazing. Oh, here. Wow, just flip through that. Where was that? Like this stuff is totally Bruce Timm, but then you can see the Dan DeCarlo in it when he does these like faux romance covers or images. But yeah, it's like this. They have bios. They have behind the scene images. It's really great. It's a great resource. All right, let me go back here. We got off topic. I just got to show off an Inspector Kid my comics and comic posters. An Inspector Kid. Ooh, what's that? Were you being inspected? Or an inspector in your house, maybe? I got to show off my Stan Lee-sized Amazing Spider-Man #1 issue. Wow. Nerding it out. I only got 2 bars, but still getting Rocky in HD. What is this sorcery, and why couldn't it just load my school pages? I'm HD, man. I'm worth the HD. Even 1 bar. Awesome. The signboard outside of one of the comic book shops on the front had an illustration of Betty and Veronica. Oh! Oh, yeah. So the cool thing about that video you're talking about, that's Comics Experience. There's a gal there named Kate. They have a cat and a Kate, and I believe it's Kate, who is an artist as well. And so she does these cool illustrations for their signage and their signboards and all that kind of stuff. So great eye. Okay, let's see. Will Dark Roast Bancroft show up? I don't know. I should text them. Say, yo, we got the white shant in here. Where's Dark Roast? No lagging, buffering, and I'm in HD. It's a miracle. I'd have to dig it out. I think it is in black and white. Cover has red foil, though. I also have an Astar Ashcan from Heroes. Astar. I don't even know if I know that. Yeah, the foil. Yep. I'll show you guys. You will see. Wednesday is Woden's Day. Oh, Woden's Day. All right. The planets were named after the gods? Yes, absolutely. That's eerie. John, you are the rim shot king here. Eerie in the trash, like Benny and the Jets. That's that song. Where's Comrade Sammy? Where is Comrade Sammy? Oh yeah, where is she? Oh my gosh, she's not lurking. Where is she? Where is the chat ninja? I like the fog. It's mystical, mysterious. It is. It's beautiful. And especially when you're driving from out of town or out of the city and you're coming into the city and you see like the fog will just kind of sit there like a huge blanket. And if it's really hot, oh man, there's nothing better than seeing that fog. But if it's really nice and then you see the fog, you're like, we're kind of getting into the droops. Be stronger than the weather, Rocky. It's hard. I like it dark early because the sun is the devil. Yeah. Okay. I like it dark earlier because I can stay up into the night longer. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll take that. I can't stand the short days or the cold weather. Maximum sunlight marks music obsession. If you lived by the beach, I would agree with you too. You want to be able to see that beach. The beach isn't as cool when it's cool, but it's not as like beautiful and like breathtaking in the dark as it is during the light. Yes, Greta Thunberg. If you've not seen Greta sing Swedish metal, oh my gosh, please do link that. Also, it's like Halloween. I don't know. I love Halloween, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Greta, here we go. Greta sings Swedish Death. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to have to click on this link. This is an important thing. Okay. Skip the ad. Oh, let me switch to this so we can all share in this. Skip. Oh no, here we go.
My message is that we'll be watching you.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet, you're to us young people.
Can you guys hear the audio? I hope you can hear the audio. Let me know in the chat if you can hear the audio. Oh my gosh. Because, let me turn it down. Is it too loud? It might be too loud. I'll turn it down. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is not what I was expecting for Wednesday, but hopefully, hopefully you can hear it.
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams, my childhood, with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are the beginning of
This is why the internet exists, I guess. Timmy Mello says I'm making his ears bleed. Hopefully I turned it down. It was okay. Is that okay? Timmy Mello. What's up, Timmy Mello?
And the Guardians are headed to October.
Okay, we got a minute and a half more of this. This is worth it though, guys. Hang with it. And hopefully the volume's better. Let me know.
mass extinction. No one to talk about is your money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 13 years, the signs have been crystal clear. How dare you? When I come here saying that you're doing enough, with politics and legislation, that don't inside. You say you hear us, that you understand the urgency. No matter how sad and angry I am.
Oh my gosh. Comrade Sammy says, we were wondering where you were just in time. Hey, Comrade Sammy. What the heck are you making my show? It's John. This is from John. This is amazing, though.
I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil.
Oh, man. That was really good, John. My goodness. That was a Wednesday pick-me-up that I kind of needed. That was really good. Okay. All right. Now I'm way behind. Okay. Emo Trash says, I'm going to need you to explain to me why I'm getting punished just because it's getting warmer and the plants wake up so my body's... yes. Are we getting into that? Like hay fever? All these allergies? I do have kind of bad allergies. I'm actually really allergic to a few, mostly pollen stuff. But like tulips, I'm really allergic to. Cherry blossoms, which is unfortunate because both of those are very, very beautiful plants and flowers. But yeah, I do get bad allergies. But I have to take a Zyrtec every day, like one Zyrtec every day because of our cats. Oh yeah, I'm allergic to cats. So it kind of helps like take the edge off of it. But there are some days where it's just totally miserable. I can't make it make sense, Emo Trash. God forbid the air eventually became saturated in plant sperm and the human body just can't with it. When you put it that way. Eat more local honey. I've heard that. I don't know if that really works, but I've heard it. People talk about it. If they're gathering pollen from local flora, it may increase your tolerance to local pollen. Yeah, I've heard that. I'm not even sure if pollination has actually kicked up yet or not, just been suddenly warmer as of like 2 days ago. Yeah, usually the extreme weather changes like rain to super sun, like warm sun, sometimes kicks up the pollen, or when the winds come in, that can be really bad too. Did see some daffodils already popping up the other day. All right. Cranberry Lander says, Archie artists and those who came after were trained to copy and emulate Dan DeCarlo's work by the publisher, for which he sued them. That makes sense. Somebody, who was I reading recently, was talking about like the house styles of different comic studios or like groups, like specifically in the Image era of like, there was like the Rob Liefeld Extreme Studios house style. There was the Jim Lee Homage Studios stream house style. There was Todd McFarlane kind of has his style. I mean, it's pretty much him. But then like when Greg Capullo came in there, they added in some artists. They kind of had this house style. So yeah, it's really interesting that a lot of people made their careers off of that and learned a lot. And then you see where those, oh, that's what it was. Somebody was talking about the artist Dan Panosian, and they were looking through an old Image comic book, and there was an ad by Dan Panosian for Prophet #1. And his style back then looked such like a derivative style of Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee kind of world. But if you look at Dan Panosian's artwork now, oh my gosh, that guy is on another stratosphere of how amazing his artwork's like, and it looks nothing like where he came from. So his progression, that was the video that made me think of this, was the guy was talking about the progression of Dan Panosian's style over the course of decades. So yeah, you never know. I mean, Travis Sherray started off as a Jim Lee kind of clone, and then he became like the incredible like artist savant that he became. So many artists just started off on one style and kind of shift and progress to another. Cranberry says, I know Bill Ward's work. Rocky, I'm a fan. Awesome. Allergies are an inflammation. Our body learns to adapt to inflammation and bring it down. The season is so short, your body's just inflamed. I've heard turmeric helps with inflammation, so I do take turmeric. There's other like inflammatory foods that you need to avoid, maybe. But could be about your dog too. That could be it. Their profiles rocked from Dan's work. The lips. Thank you for giving me the reference because I wouldn't have known what you're talking about. The lips, eyebrows. Yeah, the lips. So cute. Eyebrows, body shapes. They're amazing. Yes, I forgot. Does Kate also have a cat? So Kate's cat. Kate from this. Oh, John. I'm with MMO on Maximum Sunlight. That's right. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. What's up, K-pop? Yo. Good seeing you. How are you doing? How's your streaming life going? How's all your shows and whatnot? You're just like one of the busiest people in YouTube land. So busy. So many shows. Comrade Sammy's been summoned. I already gave you this, but I'll give it again. How are you doing? Playing Minecraft. Cranberry says, I like it when the day lasts all into the night and when the night comes super early. That almost sounded like lyrics. I should say I dig it. I dig variety in the otherworldness. Yeah. I'm not a huge, I think I'm just old. I'm not a huge nighttime fan. I do like going out at night sometimes. It depends. It depends on what you do. Okay. Timmy Mello. Sorry for missing last week. Plus, I will never recommend a stomach flu unless you're trying out for the local fire department. Oh, gosh. Ugh. Sorry, man. Stomach flu is the worst. Yeah, we have missed you. New profile picture. Awesome. Is that like an old guy? What's going on in there? Yeah, stomach flu is the worst. One of the worst ailments that you can have. So I am so sorry you were dealing with that, but glad you're feeling better now. And glad you're here. Everybody's saying. Unhinged says, John, I need to download this. Okay, Swedish Metal. All right, I'm slowly catching up. Minecraft. Glad we register higher than Minecraft, if only so slightly. You know, there's a Minecraft movie coming out. I don't know if it came out already. It looks like a horrible idea. So yeah, but there is I think Jack Black's in that movie. She just seems really whiny and like she wants attention. Who? Oh, Greta. I get you. Yeah. I don't know. No comment. Currently trying to rebuild a woodland mansion that caught aflame. Oh, sounds important. Sounds very important. If the Zyrtec does not work, you can shove the pills up your nostrils. You could. That is another way. I went through this whole bout of like, it was like Claritin, Zyrtec. There was another one. And one of them, like, I don't know what it did. I think it like thinned, due to the inflammation or whatever. One of the things it was supposed to do was like thin your blood vessels, I guess, is supposed to help with whatever problems you have with your allergies. But I remember taking that pill and I would get like bloody noses. And I was like, this is probably not the right medicine for me. And then I tried Claritin and it would make my allergies actually worse. So then somebody recommended Zyrtec and I use that. Every now and then, like my wife has somewhat bad allergies as well, and she'll use Afrin. And that helps her a lot, but that can be addictive. So I wouldn't recommend that all the time. But if it's like a really bad day, it helps. All right, let's see. Yeah, Panosian level. That guy. I remember discovering his work, his more recent evolution form that he's in now, and seeing it, and I'm like, what kind of magical elixir did this guy drink? Because it is leaps and bounds. And I liked his other artwork. It was great, and I knew of his work, but it wasn't something I was like, ooh, Dan Panosian. But now when he does like variant covers, he does a lot of covers. I think he's writing as well too. I think he was working on some sort of Western horror series recently, but anytime he works on a variant cover, usually it's just like, holy moly, so good. K-pop keeps it rolling. That's right. All right. Personally, 50-50 on the Minecraft movie. Really? I'm like 20-80, 10-90. Yeah, I'm not going to watch it. I never got into Minecraft myself. My kids actually never got into Minecraft, so it doesn't resonate with me of like, oh, can't wait to see it. Hey, I got old and my immune system turned to mud. Yeah. Let's see. It'd be way more appealing if it was animated like a lot of the dumb YouTube Minecraft content. Yeah, I think that whenever they try and take something that really needs to exist in or only exists in like is so, I don't know, how do I put this? Like it's so meant to be what it is. And then they try and reform it, rejigger it into a live action thing and add like movie stars into it. It's like, ugh, like let's not do that. Just leave it for what it was. Serious question: what resolution will the Minecraft movie be in? 144p, 8-bit? That would be more appropriate. Jeffrey Beats, good day, Jeffrey Beats. Okay, Jeffrey Beats. I don't know if he's still here, but he showed up in the chat earlier. Michael Bancroft is in the chat from Australia, fellow Australian. So I remember a couple streams ago, you said you had never met him before. So Beats, meet Bancroft. Can I make that connection? You guys make that connection? Australian connection? There you go. Fellow Aussies. Oh my gosh. My boy and I sat through Mufasa yesterday. I was almost fuming. See, that's one of those, like any of those live action from animated movies. for me is nope. Big nope. I've not watched any of those. None of those. Not even the ones that were more popular. And because for me, it's like that was meant to be animated. I mean, the beauty of most of those stories is in the art of the animation and how they told that story. And to reverse that or reverse engineer that back into live action was just like, So I'm very, very wary. Nothing. I'm trying to think if I ever broke that rule of watching a live action movie that was from animation. And I don't think I have, because I just didn't want to get as angry as it sounds like you're getting. Jeffrey Beats, meet Michael Bancroft. There you go. From Melbourne. That's right. So the stream is 2/11 Australian. That's right. That's amazing. Melbourne is like 3 days drive from here. Wow, okay. That's pretty far. But still, Australian. I guess that's like me going into an Australian YouTube stream from California, me being from California, and then somebody from New York, and them like, hey, you guys should meet. Oh my gosh. Anyway, hopefully maybe Bancroft just came in at the early beginning to say hey, but hopefully he can say hello to you, because that would be cool if you guys met. Mufasa should never have been made. I agree. They kept trying to make classic looking scenes, and it would have been 1,000 times better if they just animated in the original style. Yeah. I just always the question with those is why are we doing this? Like, why are we what do you hope to gain from like making this live action other than more money in the box office, or like people paying money in the box office to see it? I guess that's why. But yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me, and they could spend that money, which is a lot of money, making something new, making something original, making another animated thing that's awesome, as opposed to a live action thing that's mediocre of an awesome animated thing. Jeffrey Beats says, it would be great to meet him. I followed him on Insta. He's very impressive. Yeah, he's great. Bancroft's a machine. That guy's a machine. Well-oiled machine. Okay, let's see. All right, let's get to the comics. That's where we at. We are so far behind, almost an hour into this stream, and I haven't even pulled out a comic yet. So here we go. Let's go through the modern stuff first, or the current stuff first, and then we'll get to the fun little side things that we discovered. So, Absolute Wonder Woman. I'm still in on the Absolute series. Absolute Batman has still been great. I will say that Absolute Batman issue 1 was still by far the best one for me. That one just like hit me in all the right spots for that one. And then like Absolute Wonder Woman #1 was okay. And then it started getting better like around, for me, it started getting better around like issue 2 and 3. I was like, oh, okay, wow, this is picking up. And now it's kind of like, okay, where are we going? And so we're already on issue 5 here. And then the other Absolute I'm picking up is Absolute Superman. And that one has surprised me. It's funny because that one has a lot of like environmental, third world country, like, I don't want to call it propaganda. Maybe it's propaganda, but just like the message is they're trying to like hammer home this message of like refugees and, and whatever your political stance on all that stuff. I'm not a big fan of like super heavy-handed political stories, but I will say that the story and the character spins on that one have been really surprising. And I've actually like I always thought out of the 3, Absolute Superman would be my least favorite book, and I thought I would be dropping it by now, but it's actually like rising probably above Absolute Wonder Woman now. and right behind Absolute Batman. So I've been impressed with it, and I've started liking the art a lot better. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a new issue of Absolute Superman right now. A new issue hasn't come out yet, but I will say that I've been super pleasantly surprised at where they're going with that storyline. Wait, so you're telling me I'm 35 minutes late and I still didn't miss any comics? Nope. John dropped a link for Michael Bancroft's YouTube channel. Awesome. Yeah, go subscribe to Bancroft and hit that like for me, guys. If you haven't already, that would be amazing. We are moving forward, trying to get to 488 subscribers, because I had it at the beginning of the week and I lost a subscriber. But no, we're trying to get to 500 subscribers. And we're close. We're really close. And the watch hours are growing. It's good. It's good. We're close, but got to keep pushing forward on this. So yeah, at the end of issue 4, she already has this giant sword. That's part of this new design. And she just made it even bigger. She like cast a spell, which is what this whole Absolute Wonder Woman storyline is based around, that she is kind of birthed out of dark magic. So she's got a darker side to her, darker powers. It's kind of cool, because we're just so used to the Diana Wonder Woman that we know, being this like from a perfect society, from Themyscira, and you know, everything's perfect there. But here she's kind of birthed out of the depths of hell, and so it's kind of a neat take on her. And this is the kind of stuff that I like that Hayden Sherman is doing. These are the kind, I don't know. It's funny, as I've seen already 5 issues, now 5 issues of this book. I do like his artwork, but there's sometimes the way that he draws Wonder Woman is really cool. Like I think this is a great pose, great drawing. And then there's stuff that she looks kind of weird and not so cool. So it fluctuates for me. It's not consistently like amazing artwork. But it's cool. It's cool enough that it's like, I like it. It's a different style. It's not what you would expect for Wonder Woman. And the colors are really interesting in here as well. I believe this is Jordi Belair, right? Yeah, Jordi Belair. And I've said that I want to do a closer look video. I'm still planning on doing a closer look video regarding the colors on this. I just got to get to it. And the thing I am impressed by just across the board of this Absolute line is that they're ongoing books, and the creative teams have been on it consistently. There was one issue in Batman, Absolute Batman, I think it was issue 4, that I didn't pick up, that a totally different artist was drawing it. And that's why I didn't pick it up. And then I read issue 5 and I was like, do I need issue 4 to understand the story? And I don't really think I did. So I'm not going to pick up 4. So yeah, they always have in Absolute Wonder Woman, they always go back to her time in hell with her mom. That's the flashbacks they go to, and it's like they talk about how she learns her magic and kind of gains her powers and her abilities. That's the ongoing rhythm of this series. They keep flashing back to her mom in hell with her. And they're getting into a lot of like mythology and stuff, which is cool. It's kind of neat. Yeah, the way these colors are, it's like there's this, especially when she's in hell, there's kind of these unique light sources that Jordi Belair picks, kind of unconventional, and it's neat. It's neat. It gives hell a certain quality, a certain dark, otherworldly quality. It's like underlighting here, and I'm pretty sure that this is all just her and it has nothing to do with the line work. It's just what she's deciding to do as a colorist here. It's a cool choice. And the classic standard, wow, that's really muted. You guys see that? It's really muted colors. The classic Wonder Woman look is that like red, white, and blue, Jose Garcia Lopez, like, it's my favorite Wonder Woman. You know, she's like popping out, like could stand right next to Superman and Batman and just look amazing. Represent, even though she's not American, represent America with her like stars and stripes kind of motif. So she's so dark in this one and so on the opposite side of the spectrum in this one. It's cool. It's a cool exploration, whether you like it or not. I think it's kind of a cool exploration. So it's like this face is like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that face. That's cool. Medusa. Oh, I guess she summoned Medusa to deal with this this monster. I think it's called the Tetracide. That's cool. I like the art in this issue. There's a couple issues I'm like, maybe it's more talk stuff. But yeah, that's cool stuff. I love this coloring. Yeah, I gotta do the video on coloring because it totally stands out in this book. It's very unique in this book. Like the monster just turned to stone because of Medusa. But I love these colors here that she picked to indicate that. There you go. Wonder Woman. This is the other book. I don't know if you guys remember. I picked up issue 1 of this, Batman Dark Patterns, and Hayden Sherman is doing the art on this too. I don't know how he's doing both books. I really liked actually the first issue, but I haven't continued on this series, and part of me is like, I can just get the trade, or I can just borrow it from the library when it comes out. Like, it wasn't worth like owning for me. It was good, but it wasn't worth owning for me. Yeah. Absolute Wonder Woman. That's pretty cool. Pretty neat. Keeps me on the series. So it's good. I didn't think that I would be regularly buying Absolute Wonder Woman. I thought I would be regularly buying Absolute Batman, for sure. But for Wonder Woman and Superman, I didn't think I would be at this point, and here I am still doing it. So it's good on them for keeping it going, keeping it interesting, keeping the art consistent, and just kind of pushing it, and also keeping it a regular series. Like, I don't know if there is an end. All the news that I've read, the comic news I've read about this series, they're not like, 6-issue arc and then it's done. It's like they're just going to keep going with it and keep it a regular series. So that's pretty interesting. All right, let's see. He's not calling you Bogans still? He does use the Bogans. Drongos? I've never heard of that. We all know damn well the children went to go see Sonic 3 over Mufasa in the theater. Did Sonic 3 do good? I didn't see that. I did like the other Sonic movies. I thought they were fun, but I have not seen Sonic 3. I was one of them. Jeffrey Beats picked up a few comics yesterday. What did you pick up, Jeffrey Beats? Let us know. I'm liking her design more than before. Oh, wait. Are we still on Wonder Woman? Am I behind? Was it hot dogs or pizza with pineapple? Oh my gosh, I'm really off. Jeffrey Beats says, I'm going to buy the Absolute Wonder Woman trade paperback. That's fair. That's fair. I could see that, like, yeah, I could see that. It's always this tipping point of, am I too far in already? Should I just wait for the trade paperback? Like Transformers is kind of like that for me. Like Transformers has been a consistently fun ride, and they're on issue 16 or 17 now. And there's some issues that are better than others, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should have waited before I started collecting it to just read trades or just buy the trades. But now that I'm on this single issue thing, I'm like, oh, but do I want to stop now? Because what if the next issue is really, really good? Can I wait that long to read it? So I feel like the farther you get into a series, and if you've collected it, single issues up to that point, there's always this like tipping point of like, oh, should I switch to trades? Should I just keep on going with the individual floppies? I mean, money obviously is a big factor, because buying it via individual floppies is way more expensive than trades. Wow. So yeah. But I think Absolute Wonder Woman as a trade, that's probably a good idea. I don't know. So that one's 5. It's maybe they'll end the arc on issue 6 and then they'll compile it. So yeah, not sure. This is a book that I thought it was a one and done book. And then issue 2 came out and I was like, oh, okay. And then now issue 3 came out. And then I just found out from the comic book shop that this is going to go to 7 issues. So again, this was like, should I have just waited and bought the trade if I had known it was just going to be 7 issues. But Green Lantern Dark, this has been kind of cool. A lot of this is the reason why I like this is the take on Green Lantern is very different, at least from what I know of Green Lantern. The artwork is by the artist who's gotten a lot of award or a lot of notice or has become well known based on their work of Something is Killing the Children. So this kind of sketchy, really fast-paced, action-y style. Yeah, I don't think they ink it. Let's see. It's almost like they just kind of go straight to, like they just pencil it and then they adjust it. Oh no, maybe they do ink it. But it's almost like a sketchbook style. And I've liked it. I thought it's cool. Something That's Killing the Children. I read the first volume of that. Speaking of books that I didn't pick up individual issues, but started reading trade paperback. And it was good. It didn't totally hook me in, so I didn't keep up with it. But I did like the artist. And so it's kind of cool to see them doing a superhero book like Green Lantern. And then the other thing is Green Lantern, at least the Green Lantern series that I have read in the past, always had like 1,000 alien characters in it and like all this rules of like how the ring worked and this like backstory of the galaxies of blah, blah, blah. Like it just was always too much, almost too much comics, not comic lore, but like too much story world building that I never found a Green Lantern story. Green Lantern Rebirth was really good. The Ethan Van Sciver. I really liked that one. I thought that was cool. But that also had like so many ties from so many different other storylines. The Blackest Night, all that kind of stuff. Like I just felt like every time with those DC books, and I've been finding this more and more with when I borrow stuff from the library and just trying to catch up on huge storylines that I've missed or reread them. I feel like you have to read like 1,000 issues of 5 different books to understand what's going on. And Green Lantern's kind of like that for me. So this one has been cool because it's like a self-contained, starting from scratch. And there's only really Green Lantern that you're tracking in this. I mean, there's the villains, but there's not like 1,000 different lanterns, 1,000 different galaxies. It's just taking place in this little town and like bad stuff is happening. So I like that. And I like the take on Green Lantern. It's a she, and she's really not wanting to be the Lantern. She's kind of dark, kind of like moody and like not nice. And yeah, they're dealing with like zombies, and it has a slight horror vibe to it. So it's fun. I didn't know that this was going 7 issues long, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, there's some cool stuff with color. Obviously using the greens, nice reds for the horror stuff. Work really well together. But yeah, this like fast pencil-y style. It's not usually something that I'm like keen on, or like the simplification here, just a dot for an eye. It's nice. It's really fresh, the artwork. Nice. That's cool. That's a cool monster design. And it's neat. She's kind of this reluctant savior of this village or this town, but then she has like a lot of, especially kids are like looking up to her like, oh, she's gonna save us, and they want her to be the hero, and she's like, I just leave me alone. Like I don't want to be your hero, but she knows she kind of has to be. So it's a cool angle for Green Lantern. Yeah, this is fun. Artwork's fun. Reminds me of an artist friend I knew that like he would just kind of draw. He wouldn't draw anything structurally when he drew. It was just kind of like noodly, meandering line, and but it was all there. All the structure were there, but it gave it this like graphic feel to it without any structure in it. But some of these like simplifications are kind of cool, which is a very Euro/manga influence. I don't know the history of the artist other than Something is Killing the Children, Della Derrera. I don't know where they come from, like where they originally come from, what country. But there seems like some influences from manga, from European comics. Not so much Western comics. I should say American comics. Werther Della Dera. The color is cool too. Giovanna Nero. Neat. That's cool. Yeah, I'm in. Knowing that it goes to 7. This is one of the things like this is a side tangent conversation, but when I went to the store today, I guess that not only do they know what books you request to be pulled at the store, but they also know what you buy. And so every time I'm purchasing stuff, they'll ask me, "Oh, you've already bought 3 issues of this series. Do you want to make it a regular pull in your box?" And it kind of takes me aback because I'm like, "Oh, you're tracking like even the books that I didn't ask you guys to pull or nothing, but they're tracking your purchases and tying it to your store profile." So I understand why they ask that, because if you're gonna buy it anyway, it helps them with their inventory to know how many they should order. Is a particular book popular? Like, is everybody getting this? So we should order more. But it was really weird. I felt like pressured because he was like, "Oh, yeah, you already you picked up 3 issues, so you'll probably pick up the rest of them, right? And there's 7 issues." And I was like, "Oh, I don't want it to be in my pull. I kind of like the option of dropping it when I don't want to buy it." So I was like, "Well, let's hold off on pulling it on my pull list." And it won't it's not like this book will sell out. So I kind of like that freedom of deciding last minute whether I want to get a book or not. But more likely than not, I'll probably pick up all 7. But I just came out of it like, whoa, like you're tracking everything I'm buying, even the stuff that I'm not asking you guys to pull. And now you're making recommendations of what I should make a pull. Like, back off. And then it goes back to that conversation of like, how much do you want to interact with the store owner? How much do you want them to be in your business? And how much do you just want to be left alone to get the books you want? So in that moment, I was like, no, I'm going to keep it off my list and I'm just going to buy it off the rack if I want to. Let's see. Rock Crin, what's up, Rock Crin? Hello there. How you doing? I heard but couldn't reply. Going well, actually. Getting back to my full schedule soon. Your full schedule, K-pop? Oh my gosh. What have you been on, like half schedule? Your half schedule is like 5 times more than my full schedule. So, dang. Buffering kicks in once I make it to the comics. Oh, bummer. It's a Buster sword. That's right. Here we go. What is up? Whitecroft is here. I'm sorry, not Whitecroft. Dark Roast. So confused. Whitecroft. Bancroft is already white. He doesn't need to be Whitecroft. It's Dark Roast Bancroft. What's up, Shanth? I'm so good to see you, man. All the peoples are here. How are you doing, Shanth? Are you going to do Pizza Live tomorrow, Shanth? So one of the things I did, I really wanted to start my master study, my Steranko master study at the beginning of this week, like Monday, Tuesday, but I couldn't do it. My schedule was too messed up. But I'm not going to wait till next week to start it. I'm ready to go. I'm just waiting for the time to stream it. So more than likely, I'm going to stream tomorrow or Friday, probably tomorrow. I'm going to start the master stream. And for those of you who have followed that up to this point, I've finished the pencils on a Jim Steranko page, and I'm going to start the inking process. So I scanned it in, did the blue line, and print it out, and prep it for inking. And so I'm ready to go on that. I'm just waiting for the time that I can carve out to start that stream. So I want to try and do it before the end of the week, and more likely than not, it will be tomorrow during the day sometime. So, but Shanth, are you doing Pizza Live tomorrow? If you are, then I just got to make sure that I don't cross over with, oh, actually I couldn't cross over that because I have to be somewhere when you start Pizza Live. So yeah, but yeah, Thursday. And I know that's when Shanth streams his Pizza Live. So anyway, how are you doing, Shanth? Everybody's saying hello to Shanth. Dark Roast Bancroft made it. That's right. I can smell the roast from here. I really like the colors and the panel designs. Yes. Pizza Live tomorrow night, John's asking. Sean says, not sure. Finding a film YouTube doesn't have problems with is tough. Yeah. I mean, the last one that you did, The Phantom of the Opera, which was great. It was a great film. I missed the beginning of that stream, but didn't you do all the sound stuff on that? So I know that takes a lot of work. That's kind of a pain in the butt, especially when stuff is considered public domain and then YouTube strikes you on it. So cool images. I still can't get past the dramatic change to Diana's origin. Sorry, you guys are talking about Wonder Woman. Yeah, I mean, you just got to embrace it, Timmy Mello, and just be like, this is a totally different story. What if that other Wonder Woman never existed? This is the new Wonder Woman. That's kind of how I look at it. I kind of like that it's so different, because sometimes when you have that Elseworld stuff with any of the books, like Batman or Superman or whatever, and it's too similar to, but just like one thing is changed, or, you know, a couple things are changed, a little things tweaked, or just like a plot moment is changed, then it's like, well, is this canon? Is this just fake? What is this? So I kind of like that this is almost like you can wipe the slate clean and just imagine if Wonder Woman was, this was her origin, this is her character. It's not going to be the Wonder Woman you remember. So, but it is quite dramatic, quite different. I give that 100%, John. I think Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, was one of the best recent DC movies when Marvel was just like kicking butt and DC was like floundering. They were coming out with like Batman versus Superman, which don't get me started on how horrible that movie is. And yeah, like Aquaman, like everybody's like, oh, Aquaman. I was like, I'm not a big Aquaman fan to begin with. And I didn't really like the first movie. I couldn't even make it through the second movie. But Wonder Woman, I think what made that movie so entertaining for me was Gal Gadot's casting. She was amazing. She was like beautiful. She captured that like not from here, like a foreigner, but could fit in here. She had that like resolve, that like that whole scene where she was like in the trenches and she came out with her shield. It was so cool. Like she was great. And then she could be soft too and like really vulnerable. So I thought she was a great cast. The second Wonder Woman movie, Wonder Woman 1984, was, I don't know what happened in that movie, but that one, I couldn't even, I mean, I finished it, I watched it, but I was like, ugh, this is so different from the first one. I don't know how they went so far off the mark on that one when the first one was really good. That's a Gorgon, Timmy Mello says. Giving Wonder Woman a tattoo, though, not a fan. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Wonder Woman's costume design was supposed to represent hope and to bring peace to the world realm of men. Looked like an American motif pattern. For sure. Yeah, for sure. She might as well have been wearing the American flag when she was created. Like she was a great character. Sonic 3 did very well. Awesome. Disney hated Sonic 3 doing better than Mufasa, probably. I picked up the new Zatanna, X-Men, Rogue, and Batman last Halloween. Oh, I got that. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. I love this series. It's been fun. Zatanna, that's the one we saw the ad for. X-Men. I fell off on X-Men. The X-Men I was picking up was Uncanny X-Men, and you guys know I was really into that one when it first came out. I thought they captured the tone and just the spirit of the X-Men that I grew up with, the Chris Claremont X-Men that I grew up with. But yeah, I couldn't stick with it. It didn't hold me. They introduced new characters, and I was like, oh, they could be good. Not really. And yeah, it didn't. I felt like the villain wasn't that great either. So that was Uncanny X-Men. So I stopped picking that one up. The Gail Simone, I believe David Marquez was the artist on that. And then I was picking up just X-Men with no adjectives. Ryan Stegman. And that one I was kind of iffy on that one to the beginning because of the story. I thought the artwork was good. And then I fell off on that one after probably issue 3 or 4. So I haven't kept up with that. And then I know there's been a ton of other X books like Exceptional X-Men and X Factor and I think Essential X-Men. I never picked up any of those books. The Rogue book, is that the Rogue, the Savage Rogue? What is that one called? Savage? I didn't pick that one up either. I saw the cover though. That was cool. All right. I'm a fan of Wonder Woman and Green Lantern and Green Lantern and Green Lantern and Green Lantern and Animal Man and Jaime Reyes' Blue Beetle. Oh, really? Really? Batman and the Metal Man. I never got into that Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle's never been a character that's clicked with me. Either versions of him. Sounds like you're a Green Lantern fan, Cranberry. If you haven't, what do you think of that Green Lantern book, though? Does that appeal to you? Or do you like the classic Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, Space Cops? That's a lot of lanterns. Something is killing the children is like Stranger Things TV show. Yes, yeah, I would say so. It has that vibe to it. Kids versus like monsters attacking a city, like unseen monsters. The kind of cool thing with that, and at least what I read in the first volume graphic novel, was the main character, the girl with the like bandana and the teeth on it, which is a cool design. She was like an assassin or like a hunter, a monster hunter. So that was kind of cool. It wasn't like science experiments on kids with like telepathic powers, which I don't know. Maybe they added that into Something is Killing the Children later. But for sure, the tone of it feels very much Stranger Things. It's awesome. The Green Lantern stuff was awesome. Could have been its own universe. Yeah. I think somebody needs to... There's been rumors about them doing another Green Lantern movie, right? I think they just announced something new, Green Lantern, but it might be either a TV series or an animated something or other. I thought I saw an announcement for Green Lantern. John says, gotta get dinner, blame K-pop. All right, see you later, John. I'll check back if it's still going. It might be. I am running a little slower today. I read most of the Blackest Night series, and it was a lot of reading to get it all. Like, I even felt like I had a roadmap of like, okay, you got to read this first, because take it, you know, I did not read that when it was current. So I'm trying to like read it after the fact, after it's all over. And I thought I had the right roadmap of what to read first, and I just got so confused and so lost. And I was like, this ain't good. This is too many crossovers, too many plot lines. I mean, the core plot line was great, but yeah, I got really lost. And then there was other spin-offs of it too, which got confusing. But I think probably because I wasn't tapped into that when it came out, I would have had more, probably would have liked it better if I was tracking it better. But after the fact now, it's like, well, wait, what's happening? Oh, I don't know that plot point. Forget it. I tried to read 52, which is the huge thing from DC a long time ago. And it started off good for me, but then I was just like, this is too much. I couldn't get it. And then the artwork wasn't that great in that one. So, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough to keep an audience like myself locked in. It's really tough. All right, let's see. John's left, yeah. Trying to hook you on buying more. One of the stores that I go to is like that too. They know me too well. Yeah, I mean, I get it. As a store owner, you want to know, and you want people coming back, and they get most of their money from people who are regular subscribers. I get it. But I do also know that I'm the kind of buyer that like, I need the freedom to like drop something on a whim. I don't want to be so committed to buying something that I'm kind of so-so on it. I'm not one of those collectors that like, I've got from issue 1 to 577, all of them a Fantastic Four. Like for me, it's like, I need to like the artwork and the story, and I don't collect just for the sake of. I'm not a completist in that way. Cranberry says, I liked Hal Jordan, Guy, Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, Jade. Yeah. Cool Mystique cover. Okay, yeah, now I caught up. Yes. So this is the last issue of Mystique. Oh, awesome thing is, let me call it up here. I think this will be, give me a second. The awesome thing is right before I went to stream, I saw that Declan Shalvey started streaming, and what he's been streaming on YouTube, at least, I know he streams on Twitch, but what he streams on YouTube is him usually just inking like a commission or drawing and stuff like that. Like it's an art stream. And, it's pretty low tech. It's not anything super special, but it's awesome because I love Declan Shalvey's work. And I love seeing people's process and stuff. So let me show you guys a little bit of this, just a snippet. Oh wait, no, wait. Wrong one. Just so happens that he streamed right when I came home with Mystique #5, and yeah, it was cool. And it's a live stream, so there was chat going on, and I jumped into his chat and I was talking with him, and I think he now recognizes that I come frequently and that I'm a fan of his work, so that's kind of cool because he's like, "Oh, hey, Rocky," and but one thing I learned in the stream, and I asked him if so he is inking straight on the pencils, and I've had this conversation with you guys before, like how it freaks me out to do that. And I never understood because I felt like you're losing your pencils. And if you screw up, and this is probably why I'm such a hesitant artist at times, if you screw up, it's like, that's it, right? Like you don't have those pencils anymore. You can correct it, but Shanth is not like that. Shanth will paint over, he will restart his painting 1,000 times and just like start it all over, just like destroy the beauty that was there already. I'm not like that. I'm a little bit more scared of doing stuff like that. But anyway, so I asked him, I was like, "Oh, do you always ink directly on your pencils? Or do you ever scan them in, do a blue line and blah, blah, blah?" And he said, no, he does. He inks directly. He says he's very low tech and he inks directly on his pencils, and then he erases them. And if you watch the stream, he erases them. He erases the pencils after it. But he said he just likes it that way. It's just how he's done it. He does not like the process of inking on blue lines because, for one, he said he does a lot of like ink washes in his work, and so that's a big part of his style. And when he does an ink wash on blue line, excuse me, whether it's the actual blue line or like printed blue line, he says that the washes don't sit well on top of it. And I don't know if it's the way he's done it before, but whatever. So he likes how it is right directly on the pencils. And he's really comfortable with it, and he's great at it too. So yeah, I was like, wow, so that means he doesn't have any pencils after he's done with his artwork. Like, what it is what it is. So yeah, he's been streaming more recently, and it seems like he'll finish a commission like this. He'll have the pencils already done when he starts, and he just inks it, and it takes him about an hour and a half in his streams, and they've been fun. So if you guys like his work and just want to see process, like, I recommend subscribing to his channel. And yeah, he not that many people show up to it now because he's not really pushing it. But he's very responsive to the chat and very grateful for the chat, because I'm like nerding out the whole time asking him a lot of questions, and I'm like, sorry, here's another question. He's like, no, I love the questions because it gives him something to talk about while he's streaming. Otherwise, he'd just be quiet. So yeah, this is cool. This was a cool commission. The other question I asked him was, did the person who requested this commission or pay for this commission, did they ask that they wanted it to be a Wolverine / Mystique, or Mystique transforming into Wolverine, or was that just him doing it? And he said, no, they just asked him to do Mystique transforming into something. So he did this one. It looks amazing. He did, actually, speaking of Something is Killing the Children, he has a stream up there that he was doing a commission of Something is Killing the Children, of the main character. He did that, and then I saw him do one of Big Barda, which was awesome. It was a really, really good Big Barda. But yeah, it's cool. His technique's cool. He was using this Pentel pen. He also uses Tombow pen sometimes, and then he has a couple of brushes with pre-made ink washes that he dips and uses and like builds up the wash. So it's cool. It's really cool. I hope he does more of these. And then he also has a show called Tape Deck where he interviews other creators that he's worked with. So yeah, he's had quite a few artists and writers on his stream already, and he was just brainstorming as he was doing this drawing, brainstorming what other creators he could have on there. Pretty cool. So yeah, that just happened. That just went live today. And he is, if you don't know his work that much or follow him at all, he is so prolific. Like, he is constantly working on, he's like writing, he's a writer, artist, colorist, but he writes some books and doesn't draw them. For Mystique, he is both writing and drawing and not doing the color on this. Then he has his own creator-owned project called Old Dog, which he did the first run of and then did a graphic novel and a process book. And then he's working on writing, I think, the next story arc for that. And he's working on Terminator. He's working on Mystique. He's working on Thundercats. The revamp of Thundercats was his writing. And then he does a whole bunch of covers. And I love his cover work. His covers are great. So yeah, there you go. Declan Shalvey, check him out. His at dshalvey is his YouTube. Oh, there you go. You can see it actually there. There's the big Barda right there, and the Erica Slaughter from Something's Killing Children. Those are his commissions. And then these are some of the videos of the different artists that he worked with or that he interviewed. Joel Mulvey, Andrea Briccardo was the artist on Alien book that he wrote. Drew Moss is the artist on Thundercats. Stephen Mooney did a few issues of Thundercats. So pretty cool. He's an Irish artist too as well. So he likes to promote the Irish comic community. He's not solely about it, but he does promote it. And is kind of, I would argue he's one of the most successful out of that bunch. There you go. A little bit of dshalvey. Cool Mystique. Okay, yeah, let's go back to that. Boom. I liked some Aquaman comics. He was underplayed too much. The only Aquaman I like is the one from Super Friends. Riding a giant seahorse. That's the only Aquaman I really like, in his fish scale underoos. I wasn't a big fan of the trident hand Aquaman. Yeah, I think they have a revamp of Aquaman, Absolute Aquaman or something. And I'm like, it's not for me. So is the other Australian here? I don't know. I think he's not. I know he has a show. I think Bancroft has a show on Wednesdays too, so he might be prepping for that. 84 was so bad and they had so much potential. It's true. They had so much potential and they had the whole momentum of that first movie, right? So it's it's almost like you can't do any wrong. You probably had a bigger budget, bigger stars, blah, blah, blah. And it just was ugh, it was a mess. I wanted to see Wonder Woman 84, but it was around the time that the progressive content was really overt. So I figured it'd have more of that. Yeah, it was... I think the story was just bad more so than any kind of progressive content, in my opinion. It was there for sure, but it was just a mess. It was not a good story. Rogue Savage Lands, that's right. Rouge, you get autocorrect, Rouge. Rogue Savage Lands. I haven't read a new Marvel comic since 2002. I've been all DC since. Wow. That's impressive, Rock Crin. Yeah, I mean, I grew up Marvel for the longest time. All Marvel all the time. And very rarely DC outside of Batman, probably. And even then outside of Dark Knight Returns and all that kind of stuff, Batman Year One, I wasn't super into Batman, but that was probably my favorite DC character to follow. But then, yeah, they've flip flop. They take turns. I think that as far as I know, the Absolute series is doing great for DC, and so they're just putting more juice into that. And there's a bunch more Absolutes. There's going to be an Absolute Flash, Absolute Martian Manhunter, which looks kind of crazy. I really like the artist on that, Javier Rodriguez. But the artwork looks so different and weird and bizarre. So I'm really interested to see what they pull off with that one. I like the classic with variations thereof of the Green Lanterns. I love their section of the DC Universe. I'm not sure if I'd like the version in the Absolute U, but it's interesting. And actually that Green Lantern, the dark Green Lantern, is not part of the Absolute Universe. It's like I think it's more of like an Elseworld story. Yeah, it's an Elseworld story. It's not an Absolute story, which I don't know what is the difference. Is Elseworlds just like alternate reality? Absolute is kind of like that too. So who knows? If you're reading it as it came out, it would be more comprehensible. Yep. You'd have to read virtually every title to know the full story of Blackest Night, the more years since the initial. Yep. I want to collect the earlier Uncanny X-Men issues. I have more than half of the ones I want. It's great. And they have got great collections of that. I think I've shown this one before. This was, I found out about this collection off of Shelby's American Discord stream. And I love this because it's kind of phone book-ish and it's black and white. And this is like the Mark Silvestri time. This is right after Fall of the Mutants. This, and moving into Inferno. But the artwork in this is so good. Some of my favorite Silvestri artwork times. And it's just cool to see it in black and white. But they don't sell these. Well, I mean, they sell them, but they're not in print anymore, I don't think. Essential X-Men. Now they have like Epic Collection, Ultimate Collection. There's so many different collections. And I never know which one it is the right one to get. But those are worth, instead of finding individual issues of those are worth getting like graphic novel compilations, especially Uncanny X-Men. Thanks, Timmy Miller. Thanks for the link. Awesome. Surely he makes a quick copy of the pencils at least. I don't know, Mark. I don't think so. Not from what he was saying in the chat when he was talking. I think he's just kind of like, this is just part of the process. I love it. I love that this is the only copy and like that it only exists for the inks to be on top of it. So I don't think he does. Maybe he scans in like, I think he scans in like process stuff. Like thumbnails and layouts, but I don't know. You'd think otherwise dshalvey could double as a master poker player. Antoine Dennison, what's up, Antoine? I haven't seen you in a while. Cheers, gents. Headed out the door, just poked my head in. Thanks for saying hello. Hope to see you again soon. dshalvey looks like he's 12 with facial hair. That's his profile picture, which I think is probably him 12 adding in facial hair. But he looks much older than that. He looks tired. It's like a tired Irish guy. Declan dshalvey looks cool. Yeah, he's great. I really like it. I'm making the thumbnail as we speak. Art Chart. Michael Bancroft, you're right above Jeffrey Beats. Look, Beats Bancroft. There you go. Australians in the chat. He is here. Say hello. Making the thumbnail as we speak. Art Chart. Is that a custom title or is that a misspelling of your art share? You guys check out Michael Bancroft's art share streams. They're really fun, and they're a great way to find out about new artwork just out there that's out in the ether, in the internets. He has a great collection of him and Rob. Super funny commentary on the art stuff. So check it out. And I believe it's Wednesdays, right, Bancroft? Look at the fluting on the Mystique cover. Poor production value. The fluting. Oh my gosh, Antoine Dennison. Is it the like buckling, this stuff? Yeah, it's just like the lower quality cover stock. Like, what is this? Like 40 pound? Like, it's not even. But that's how books are these days. Art chart. I should change the name. That's right. What was it? Oh my gosh. Where did I hear that term? I'll have to think about it. If I think about it, I will. But it has something to do with like sharding. I remember, I think I was talking to my son and he used the word and I'm like, do you know what that means? Like, and he was using it for, it was like a different definition or a different reasoning for the word shard. But I was like, no, do you know what sharding is? It's not good. I thought that was intentional. Thought it might be a special Tailbot art. Yeah, maybe. Elseworlds are alternate realities. Absolute universe is one alternate reality amongst the others. Okay. So it's just an Elseworld, just called Absolute. I'm collecting singles of Uncanny X-Men. Oh, you're going all in. Like where are you starting Beats? Like starting where? What number to what number are you trying to collect? My favorites, 80s, 90s, which I think is called, oh, I just looked this up. 80s, 90s, 2000s is called, is it the Bronze Age? Oh, dang, I just looked this up. Because, you know, sometimes you go into comic book stores and it's like, oh, Golden Age comics or Silver Age comics and blah, blah. And I always get it confused. And then I was pretty sure it was like the 80s and 90s was Bronze Age. But wow, I'm curious to see, where did you start? Where can you even start with Uncanny X-Men? He doesn't make a quick sketch with the pencils. Don't call him sure. I'll do a test to see if Michael Bancroft is Aussie. Uh-oh. Here we go. Yeah, that's right. Just listen to him talk. Just, you know, that's what you got. Just listen to the accent in the chat. I'm going to stretch this out a little bit because that wrench on its own line is a bad widow. Do you guys know that term? Graphic design term? A widow is where you have like one word, like in a paragraph, and there's like one word hanging out there. Like, I mean, this isn't a word, but this is kind of a widow, just left there. And it's visually not great to have a widow. So you like to like adjust the line length or do some tricks in the kerning and stuff so that you don't have a widow sticking out there, because it just like, it makes this ugly gap here. And that's what I was seeing with that wrench. Ask Bancroft is the emo, if the emus have won yet. Okay, here we go. This is it. Michael Bancroft, what is the name? This is awesome. What is the name of the prime minister that always had a beer in his hand and told bosses that they should give everyone a day off after winning America's Cup? Go. Hockey. He called them bums. Yes, that was amazing. That was amazing. I love that. That was so good. The timing on that was so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm hoping to start collecting from number 1. Are you kidding me? I have from 122 on. Where do you have the space? That's when I think you need like digital comics. Oh my gosh, where do you have the space to collect? How many issues of Uncanny X-Men are there right now? I don't even know. When we were in like Uncanny X-Men, like Fall of the Mutants, like you're already in the 300s there. So holy cow, that's a lot of comics. But they're all good. I mean, all good. It's a really good book to see a story run, I think, on it. I'm still suspicious Bancroft is an Aussie. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. He's pretty clear that he proved himself there. That was really fast. I love it. Widows and Orphans. There you go. Without a doubt. Are we all graphic designers too? Giant Size X-Men number 1, I would expect. Both my children can sing the entirety of You're the Voice with passion. Wow. All right, Jeffrey Beats, you're hardcore. Unhinged as the earliest Uncanny X-Men I have is issue 5. Oh my gosh, you guys are hardcore collectors. That's awesome. What issue? Okay, I gotta look that up now. Uncanny X-Men 5. Oh, don't show me the current one. Oh, that's a cool cover. Kirby. Oh, with Angel in the foreground. Trap. That's cool. Ah, that's cool. Let's see. I'll share this with you guys. That's cool. Look at that cover. I love that Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Magneto. That was great. That was great X-Men right there. I love this old logo too. So awesome. Scarlet Witch, who she wasn't Scarlet at that time. Quicksilver. Is this Mastermind? And Toad, I'm assuming. Magneto looks great. I love these colors. That's a good one. Number 5. Wow. Well done. If your children can sing that song, it's 100%. Oh my gosh. We don't even have gators here, Cranberry Landers. You've been found out. It's a cool one for sure. Do you like read it, or is it like in one of those hard cases, like CGC graded version, unhinged? Man, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know what to do with a comic that old. Like, I collect, right? You guys know I collect, but I'm not a hardcore collector with the CGC ratings and all that kind of stuff and old issues. I'm not. I'm just kind of a nerd that goes on the whim of the stories that I remember as a kid. So yeah, but let's see. I'm trying to think I was collecting before 200 and Uncanny X-Men, like way before 200. I'd be curious. I'll have to do some research, and maybe next stream I'll talk about it, of when I actually, like, the earliest X-Men recollection I have. Maybe it was giant sized. I mean, I do remember the like Kirby, like X-Men 1, those stories, but that wasn't really what like clicked at for me for X-Men. I think it was probably the Dave Cockrum. Yeah, I want to say. Yeah, probably around this era. Maybe a little before this era. It was like when the new X-Men came around, like this team. That's when I started really getting into Uncanny. And then what solidified it for me was Fall of the Mutants, which was much later, but like that Fall of the Mutants. No, I guess that didn't. No, yeah, that was one of my favorite storylines for Uncanny X-Men was Fall of the Mutants. So that was already in the like, I want to say 300s. But this stuff, like when the new team came, when Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler, all that, I love this. I love these characters. I wasn't so attached to the original Cyclops. In this form I was, but like the Kirby version of the X-Men. I liked them, but it wasn't like, oh, this is amazing. It was these storylines, the Chris Claremont stuff. Maybe it was Chris Claremont that really got me into X-Men. Yeah, giant size. So that's like 94. But man, okay. I digress. Let's get through. Oh, whoops. Am I still in preview mode? Oh. Sorry. I just like, I was just flipping through something. You guys didn't even see it. You just saw my screen. This is what I was flipping through. So yeah, like these, like this for sure. That storyline. But having these characters, I really love these characters. So yeah, I think it is the Chris Claremont. When Chris Claremont came into X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, that's where I really, really fell in love with it. Okay. Now, am I still in preview mode? What the? Oh no, okay. All right, let's see. I'm selling off my back issues of other things to pay for old X-Men comics. There you go. Yeah, I totally love that commitment. That's amazing. I looked through it. No, I didn't slab it yet. Off the shores of Australia, very far off the shores. Okay. Devoted fan. Mark's Music Obsession is a devoted fan of Bancroft. Amazing. Oh, he's already first in your chat. Wow. Dang it. Mark. It's amazing. Mark's the best. I've seen that X-Men issue, The Trial of Magneto. Yeah, that is good. That's 200, issue 200. Really, really good. That was John Romita Jr. I love John Romita Jr.'s work on Uncanny X-Men. I love Paul Smith's work on Uncanny X-Men too. So many good artists, so many good teams. And I think, yeah, I think Chris Claremont was really, now that I think of it, was really the crux of the stories that I loved on it. I like Kirby's Thor more than his X-Men stuff. Yeah, Kirby's Thor is great. Simonson's Thor, that I loved that whole run. Buscema's Thor was great. I think I like Kirby most on Fantastic Four. Probably is my favorite that I love Kirby on. Captain America. Man, he's worked on so many good things. Demon. I love Kirby's Demon. Yeah. Wow. I like Kirby's New Gods work more than most of his other stuff. Yeah, his New God stuff is really good. It was kind of crazy for me. I got to go back and read the original. Like, Kirby as a writer was way out there for me, but still fun. But his designs on the New Gods were awesome. Rocky, Shant, and Michael B. I try and never miss if possible. Mark, you're the best. All right, let's get through this Mystique. This is the last issue, issue 5. Look at the, what did Antoine call it? Fluting? Was it bad fluting, did he say? Not sharding. Wait. Cheers it out the door. I'm going to find it. Fluting, yeah, fluting, yes. It is kind of annoying. But this has been, I think that the cool, I think them putting dshalvey on Mystique book was perfect because there's so much espionage and he really played that up. Changing identities and like backstabbing and it's like when you watch the Mission Impossible movies and Tom Cruise like pulls off a mask and like there's a lot of that going on in this story. And the main kind of trickery is between her and Nick Fury. So it looks like it's kind of coming to a head here at the end. And Declan Shalvey did mention as he was streaming, he did mention that they're going to have a trade paperback of this. He just doesn't know whether or not they're going to add in like extra sketches he did or cover variant cover stuff. Like it all depends on the page count and I'm guessing how well the book does. But if they do come out with a trade paperback of this, and since I have all the issues and there's nothing extra in the trade paperback, I might not pick it up. Ah, look at that. White Nick Fury made a cameo, or I guess his dad, which I never understood. Oh yeah, and Destiny. Destiny is kind of a big part of this too. That's who Mystique is looking for. What the heck just happened? Ugh. This is like... This is kind of reminiscent of like Psycho, the movie Psycho. Like at the end, the end reveal with Norman. What's the guy's name? Norman. In my mind, I'm saying Norman Osborn. It's not Norman Osborn. But whatever, you know, the reveal with his mom. That's what it reminds me of. Well, that's creepy. Interesting. Cool. So 5 issues of this, Mystique. Once I read it, I'll let you guys know. I've enjoyed it so far. And like I said, it's like that espionage. If you like espionage, if you like Declan Shalvey's work, you like spy stuff, like this plays up to it well. And Mystique's a great character for that. I like her more like this, where she's constantly shape-shifting as opposed to the Rebecca Romaine Stamos version from the movies. Like, I did not like that version of Mystique at all. I thought that she was weird. But I do like this. I like this iteration of her. There you go. Mystique, number 5. Oh my gosh. We still got a lot to go. All right, let's speed this up. Batman Long Halloween. It's been very, very good. Chat's been great. All right, let's see. Shanth always streams at unreasonable hours. It's true. And that's funny coming from somebody from the other side of the world even saying that. J. Michael Straczynski's run on Thor, the artist. That artist I really loved on Thor. Oh. Was that Olivetti? Ariel Olivetti, maybe? I can't remember. I don't think I read that run. Why doesn't he cater to Australians? I don't know. Sean doesn't cater to any time zone. This is mostly true, Michael. Of course, not as bad for me as you. I got to bounce. I'll leave you with one token Aussie in the chat. Thanks, Rocky, for the chat. Great work. Thanks, Jeffrey Beats. Great seeing you again. Glad you got to meet the Bancroft. And hope you guys share in your... I hope you guys cross streams again, cross paths again. Maybe in his chat. Rocky is 2 behind my time. Shant is only an hour ahead of my time. Mark's all over. Norman Osborn is crazy as well as Bates. Norman Bates, thank you, Unhinged. That toothy grin. This is classic Tim Sale. Man, seeing this makes me miss Tim Sale. As you guys know, he passed away too soon. But this is, I actually hated this as a kid. I was like, that structurally doesn't make any sense. But looking at it now, it invokes such a reaction, and it's so Joker. So I love it. I love that they put it on this cover. They've been putting his artwork, his designs on the covers. But the way that this series has been going is it's living in the world of The Long Halloween, which is Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's like uber successful run on Batman. But for this Long Halloween, last Halloween series, and I don't know how many of these are going to be. I want to say 10. I'm not sure how many issues. This is, oh yeah, there it says number 5 of 10. Each issue is a different artist. And so I like that. I think that's awesome. And they're all kind of doing their own take. And this issue's is Bill Sienkiewicz, who is one of those like artists of comic books. I'd say he's probably more of a painter than he is a comic book artist, but he kind of was so his own thing. I remember him when I first saw his work on New Mutants and Elektra. Like, his stuff is great. And he is one of those artists that he's got to be pretty old now, but I feel like his artwork has not wavered at all. If anything, it's gotten better, and just kind of evolved even more. But he's got a very loose painterly style in his work, but he does great pen and ink work. A lot of great reference. I think he uses like photo reference a lot of the time in his work. I know he uses photo reference a lot in his work, but yeah, you guys should check out his run on Elektra, and he did a whole series with Frank Miller, an Elektra series with Frank Miller, and then his New Mutant stuff is awesome. So it's awesome. He's one of these artists. This was one of the books that the store owner was like, "Oh, you've picked up each one of these. You want to make this a regular thing?" And in my mind, I'm like, "Yeah, probably." But I told him, I'm like, if there's an artist, I don't know the exact list of all the artists on here, but if there's an artist in here who I don't like, I probably won't pick up the book. So I don't want to commit. I'm a non-committal subscriber. Bill Sienkiewicz always does. I mean, this is pretty loose for him, but he always is very experimental with what he's done. I've seen him use like collage, painted photographs. I've seen him do like really stylized stuff and then really realistic stuff. But yeah, he seems like he's just playing around with all of it right now. He did that. He had a great run on Moon Knight too. His version of Moon Knight was awesome. That's crazy. Look at this Catwoman. Beautiful. So it seems like Batman's having some hallucinations here. Wow, this is wild. So it's like he'll have stuff like that that's obviously photo referenced. And then he'll have these really expressive panels. Wow, that's an awesome Harvey Dent and Solomon Kane. That's cool. This is a black and white version of Tim Sale's cover. The colors look great on this. The black and white looks great on this too. Well, it's a Sienkiewicz cover. That's great. See, like you can tell he knows realism. There's reference in there, but his exaggeration is awesome too. He must have done this digitally, I'm guessing. Some behind the scenes sketches. Oh, yeah. Liefeld did a variant cover for this. I was going to look for this, but the store Comics Experience that I picked up this book, he doesn't carry variant covers unless you ask for them. So they're not just all there, but I should have picked this up at another store. Liefeld doing that. Look. So he's trying to do the Tim Sale teeth, but in a Rob Liefeld style. That just does not work. That looks weird. Really weird. Batman's kind of cool. Next issue, Enrico Marini. Okay. I'm not familiar with his work. There's the cover without the dressing. Cool, fun. Yeah, this has been a fun mini-series because of all the different artists that they have, and just because of the whole Long Halloween world. Very cool. Batman Long Halloween number 5. Let's see. Take your time, Rocky. I'm having fun listening as I play my Minecraft map. Olivier Coipel. Yes, he's amazing. Amazing artist. Yes. Yeah, he's amazing. Just finished eating, John did. Almost caught back up. Nice. John is back. John gave Comrade Sammy a link. Not gonna lie though, this Minecraft map is pretty boring. I would most definitely start anew if I hadn't already accumulated and built a bunch of things on this one. I have never played Minecraft. So, I know it's just a bunch of building. Aren't there like zombies that you kill at night or something? And then you like build, I don't know, like get food. I don't know. Jason says Cinco is a big influence. Sienkiewicz. I think that's how you pronounce it, Sienkiewicz. I can see that in your work now that you mention that, Jason, for sure. The like unbridled, sketchy pen work. I could totally see that. That's great. I like the portrait of the lady's face in the lower right corner of the left page at the beginning. Portrait of the lady's lower left. This face? Yeah, there's some great stuff in here. It's super loose. Super loose. It's like him, like Bisley, I think there's some overlap there I see in their styles. It's like this painter, inker, like really furious, exaggerated style. Love it. Electra Assassin, yes, is amazing. I like the black and white more. Caramber Langer says of the Timm Sale drawing. Did I get back just for the ending, Rocky? No, actually, there's quite more. Sorry. Zombies and a dragon in Minecraft? There's a dragon in Minecraft? I didn't know that. Huh. But what are you guys talking about? Sink cabbage? Big burger? What in the heck? That one. Some other panels I like too. You can fish, hunt, breed, farm, battle enemies in the water, battle a variety of bosses and mobs. Wow. I didn't know there were bosses in Minecraft. I knew the mobs of like the zombie. I always knew there was like a time thing and they would come out at night. And you guys still like the nighttime? Okay. This was okay, so I picked this up at the same store that I got the ASHCANS at. Had graphic novels, used graphic novels, and last stream I was talking about an artist named Frank Robbins, who I'm getting into his work a lot more, and he was the artist on that, or the penciler on that Shadow book that I showed last stream. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But I really like Frank Robbins stuff. It's so different and kind of fresh for that time period. And I've read that he's a big influence on Chris Samney's work, who Chris Samney is an amazing artist right now, working on Batman and Robin Year One. So I've started digging of like, what would be a good, where can I find more Frank Robbins work? And I found out that he did a lot of issues of the Invaders. And this compilation has some of that in there. He did this back cover image too. So yeah, this was kind of cool to find. It was really relatively cheap. This is not Frank Robbins, this first issue. This is kind of the art style. This artist is Jim Mooney. And I don't know enough about Golden Age, Silver Age artists, other than like, you know, the Kirbys and the Buscema's. I don't know enough about. That's true. Gil Kane, yeah, but I don't collect enough or have read enough of the artwork to really know that much about the artist or the history of the artist. So Jim Mooney, I've heard his name. I don't know that much of his work, but it's good, right? It's of that style, of that era, kind of coming off of. Before superhero comics, it was like adventure comics and romance comics. So coming off of that style and putting it into a superhero world, classic beauties, you know. But I feel like Frank Robbins, and we'll get here, I think he's in the next issue. Frank Robbins' style was like, took it a step further. Here's Frank Robbins, and he's inked by a different guy. Frank Springer was an inker. And I have mentioned before that I feel like Frank Robbins' work, when he inks it himself, is a lot better. But still. So you can see it's a lot more stylized and graphic and kind of chunky and not as polished for the time period. And I kind of love that. Like these kind of faces. The heroic cheekbones, they're super exaggerated here. And he spotted blacks a lot differently. So say then like this artist Mooney, I think there's like a more organic, I don't know if it's refinement or elegance to the shadows and how they were inked here, the ink work here. And Robbins tended to be a lot more chunky and like gritty, which I think is cool. It reminds me a little bit of like Mignola stuff. This is fun. Super fun. His faces are pretty distinct. Ooh, this guy, the Scarlet Scarab. Man, comics back then were so fun. They weren't so serious. Yeah, like this is bold stuff. Like this really heavy shadow underneath her arm. Look at that. Namor's anatomy. It's wild. And he's credited as one of the co-creators on Union Jack, which is an awesome character, great costume. I'm curious if like the schedule, I'm sure these guys were like on a page rate, but like the schedule that they put this out, because this feels like they were just cranking it out. Like they weren't spending that much time on like, rendering this. They just like, boom. Must have been like a fast pace. That's awesome. Awesome face. So yeah, most of these issues are, see, like he didn't do this cover here. I don't know who did this cover. This looks like a Gil Kane kind of stuff, and it looks like a lot more classic, clean, and then his stuff is like, grrr. This character has like a 5 head. Bucky. Let's get the huge head here. Awesome colors. That's great. This guy's named Agent Axis. What a cool character. So pulp. Agent Axis, Master of Murder. Yeah, Frank Robbins is dope. It's good stuff. I always feel like his characters are unbalanced, like they're just kind of floating around. It's like uneasy, like nothing is stable, just like kinetic. Great character. Oh. Yeah, so Frank Robbins and Frank Springer are on a run here. Several issues. This is a different penciler here. Kupenberg. Same inker, but different penciler. Yeah, a lot different from Robbins. There's like a looseness to Frank Robbins' style. Whoops, there's a coloring mistake there. And this is Kupenberg still. That's cool. The Teutonic Knight. All sorts of cool characters. I love this version of the Human Torch. This was the Android version of the Human Torch, I believe. Not Johnny Storm, but the Android version. And he has no eyeballs. I thought that was cool. Cool design. But I think that's all the Kupenberg. I mean, all the Frank Robbins stuff in this book at those first like 5 or 6 issues. Yeah. Cool. That's nice. There's something about this time period, this era of comics that was really great. I think this guy's the bad guy. I don't know. What do you guys think? There you go. Frank Robbins. Some Frank Robbins in Invaders. You can harvest. You can build working computers? Really? There is quite more. Sorry, Rocky 2020. Rocky, there are tons of things you can do in Minecraft. I'll happily teach you how to play and won't stab you in the back at all while we play. Oh, okay. That'll be fun. You can build pretty much anything there. I like that cover on the Invaders book. Yeah, this is Gil Kane, I believe. Yeah. Sounds like we lost Emo, R.I.P. Emo, because of her signal. She was so young. Looks great to me, Rock Crin says. Awesome. Union Jack was one of my favorite Captain America variants. He and U.S. Agent. Yeah, I thought he was great. Cool character. Cool design. We will be visiting California in a couple months, Rocky. But not near San Francisco this trip. We'll be in San Diego. Oh, man. Yeah, San Diego is quite far. But that's cool. Cool to come into California. Namor looks completely alien. I dig it. Yeah, me too. I did not like the... I mean, it was kind of interesting. I think wrapped in the whole, like... DEI diversity movement that Marvel had to embrace. How they tried to like make Namor part of South America and all the like mythology and that, it was kind of okay for me. It was very different from the comics, but I was like, all right, let's like kind of go with this. But I do love this version, which it's like he feels alien. His anatomy is weird. He looks kind of Asian, but not. And you don't know where he's got the weird triangle head, crazy hair. Like, I love that version. Would that have played well in the movies? Probably not, but I do like it, and it's classic Namor. He did look like a bad guy, but he had a great head. He did, that guy. Hit the like, please. Yes, thanks, Unhinged. Thanks, Jason. I'll have a box coming your way next week. What? What's up, Shelby? Are you kidding me? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know what it is. So maybe it's like a head in a box or something. But I'll take it if it comes from Shelby. I'm super excited. Shelby's been working on some cool stuff. And apparently there's some G.I. Joe news or something out there that I haven't heard anything about yet, Shelby. But Shelby's been working on some cool stuff. Some Last Blood, I think, is the name of the title. Is that the name of the title that you worked on with Marat Michaels? That seems really cool. And then obviously all of his streams and secret work that he works on stream is awesome. So thank you, Shelby. I appreciate that's amazing that you're sending something. I love it. Kind of in time because Shelby talks a lot. maybe a head in the box would be better than that reference. Shelby knows a lot about all these guys and this time period and the Image guys and that world because he was in that world. But I found this compilation. I didn't know anything about this series, even though there's characters from a lot of the ongoing Image series, right? So from like Cyberforce and Witchblade and the Darkness, all that. They're all kind of intermeshed in this. I don't have any idea what this story was. But the reason I picked this up was, one, Wills was the artist on this, which Wills is amazing and one of those all-time favorite artists that I grew up with, one of the Image co-founders. But also, I have an original page. I don't know if you guys remember. I guess I can pull it off my wall. But I have an original page that Wills drew. I happened to stumble across it online. There was a original art dealer who was selling them on discount. It was drawn by Whilce Portacio, inked by Joe Weems, and I had never heard of the series at all, Artifacts. But when I saw that, I was like, oh geez, I'd love to have a Whilce Portacio page inked by Joe Weems. So I bought it and communicated a little bit with Joe Weems because he himself was selling it, and it was super nice. So I have this original page. Let me go get it. I don't think I can zoom out far enough from this page so you can see the whole thing. But I love this page because it was just so Whilce to me, and it just to have all these little panels of these different angles of these characters, and to see the inks that Weems did on this. It's just amazing. It's a great page. So I have this hung up on my wall, but I never knew what book it came from. I just saw that it was like Artifacts from the top there. And I was like, cool. All right, cool. I just wanted the artwork for it. So I found the actual book or this compilation at the store, and I was like, oh, this is the book that my art piece comes from. So I picked it up. So yeah. Yo, Mr. Shelby Robertson, a guy complimented your work at my apartment today, said it was awesome. Secret stuff. The next Last Blood has another 12 pages of Liefeld stuff in it. I think Marat plans on it in 3 weeks. Just sent him another cover. Awesome. That's so good. And I think are they just selling that on Whatnot, or Is Marat selling that on his own website? Let us know. Like, where can you buy that book? Because I know Liefeld sells most of his newer stuff that's not like from a huge comic book company, like his own stuff. He sells it on Whatnot, and I'm not that familiar with Whatnot. I've peeked in the app a little bit here and there. It's like an eBay auction, but live streaming. So I've never really tried buying anything on it or really digging deep into it. But I think that's the only place that he's selling Last Blood right now. Here we go. Shelby's given us the tea. Wills drew maybe 8 issues of that series. The other books aren't that great by the other artists. Dale Keown drew 1 towards the end of the series, and it also isn't that good. It's only Whatnot from Rob and Marat right now. I think it's going to be an Image release by year's end. Oh, okay. Cool. Nice. All right, cool. So let's flip through this really quick. So the one thing that struck me when I saw it, so Wills drew all these issues. So this is a compilation of issue 5 through 8. And I don't think he drew 1 through 4, like Shelby's saying. And from what I saw in the compilation, I don't think he drew 1 through 4. So I just got this because of Wills. And then the inks are by Joe Weems and this other ink assist, Marco Galli. I don't know Marco Galli's stuff. Definitely know Joe Weems' work. So is it bad because I don't have the first 4 issues that I know nothing about the story? Kind of. I didn't want to buy it. I didn't really care to. I just wanted to see Wils's artwork. And the thing that struck me about this, especially after seeing that original page, is I'm not a huge fan of the colors on this, and I kind of feel like they take away from Wils's art. Colors by Sonny Cho and R.F. Prianto, which R.F. Prianto colors on Silvestri's Batman and Joker, the series that he just finished a couple years ago. That amazing series, and that was great. The colors on that were great. So I do know R.F. Prianto's work, but I don't know Sonny Cho. And maybe Shelby has information on it, but I feel like they're over-rendered on Wils's work. Like, and part of that is doing all this like fanciful stuff here, and you guys can't even really see, but let's see here. Like, it's just like overly like extra high, extra midtones, extra sculpting here. And I'm not a big fan of it. Like, Wills already has a ton of rendering, like with his cross hat. Yeah, this is actually a good example. Like, all this extra business that I don't think Wills added in. I don't think he drew like color holds or that. I think this was all just the colorist doing his own thing. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. Just got really busy. And like I was saying, Wills already has enough rendering in his artwork, in his pen and ink work with Weems on him. With Weems as his inker, there's already enough rendering in there, which is amazing. So then to see this extra layer of like colorists trying to like over render stuff, it like just gets to be too much. There's some cool drawings here. Got my name all over it. Finished art supplied by, so whatever. You supplied the finished art. You didn't create it. You supplied it. I'm so excited, Shelby. That's awesome. I'm glad that you got to be a part of that project. If you see any inks from Top Cow stuff by Victor Lamas, he passed away. He inked a ton of Benitez and Finch stuff. Oh, dang. Huh. Yeah, I don't know Victor Lamas's work. Benitez and Finch. Oh. Like, yeah, this is just like this smoke is just like way over rendered. And there's some colorists that can do that and do it well. I just felt like it was too much. Like, just didn't need to. Like, I don't think, you see all these extra lines here? I think these were added in with the colorist did this. I don't think Wills did that. And the only reason I say that is when we get to the original page, we'll compare. I'll compare with you guys what the original page I have and how it turned out with the colors on it. Like this stuff, I'm not a big fan of that. All this extra line work / color work on the interior. I don't know. Maybe that was the look they were going for. It just got super busy. Like, that's really busy. And I can already see just from the ink work that looks awesome. That's cool. What a cool shot right there. Wills did some cool likenesses when he wanted to. That weren't just like stock faces. He loves this like 3/4 down angle. Draws it really well. Zaid Comics says, Shelby, I had a boba today. Why is that an accomplishment? That's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday here. Phil? Mark's Music Obsession says, I too like the boba tea, Phil. Yo, Mark, when you go to California, San Diego, I'm sure you're gonna have good boba there. There's tons of great boba places, and they get too fancy for their own good sometimes. There's a great boba place in the city here called Urban Ritual. Shout out Urban Ritual. Actually, I haven't been in a while, but they have this boba there called the creme brulee boba, and it's got this like creamy, it used to be one of my favorites. It's almost too much now, but they had this like creamy, like not only was the tea good, but it like had a creamy custard that was part mixed in. And then they added like caramelized sugar crumbles. So they would give it to you in a separate container and you'd pour it in. And then the boba was in there too. And it tasted like creme brulee. It's really rich, but very, very good. Yeah, this extra line stuff. See all these extra line color. It's like the highlights have a board or like a line around them. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It looks almost like a topographic map. Too much line work. Let the line work breathe. Let the line work be the line work. These are awesome. That's a great face. I'm sure he was referencing his own face in that. That's a Filipino nose if I've ever seen one. Right there. Yeah, there's some fun artwork in here. I just didn't like the colors. Wills draws some great tech. Loved his tech. And his hairstyles are so cool. See, like that? That's way too much rendering. Way too much rendering. Oh, ta-da! This is the page that I have. Okay, let me zoom in. Not so close, but closer. All right, so like, see all this like color stuff here and like extra highlights on the highlight, on the shadow, on the highlight, like modeling that the colorist is doing here. All this extra business. Like, take a snapshot, mental snapshot, and then I'll show you go back to the original artwork. Like, that is just breathtaking. So clean and beautiful, and the rendering's great on this, and like the level of detail and the ink work, the hatching. Like this just reeks of like, okay, this is a Whilce Portacio drawing. But then I'll go back to the like, look at that. It's too much. Like take a breath. Like, look at all that face. I don't know. It's just my preference. Like, her face looks so... Let me move it up here. Her face looks so great. This character. And then look at it here. It's just like... I don't know. Too much. Also, it's shrunk down, too. So, like, this intricate line work gets really tight at this size. Then to add this extra level of complication. Yeah. This is kind of cool. There's a note here on the original artwork. Oh, I didn't see it. Basically, he just drew this hand and it says paste panel 12 here. And so they did that right there. The hand's there. Actually, that's not great. Not the greatest coloring because you can't really see it separated out from the character. But panel 12 is this one here. So they just pasted it up in there. Cut and paste action. So anyway, it was kind of cool to run into the actual page, see the original page of, see the book that the original page I have came from. But I am a little disappointed with the final product. I love the original page, but I'm a little disappointed with the final product. But I'll read it and see. Of course, I'm old and it's Florida, so tapioca is plentiful. American Discord says, I could use a boba. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 shows up.
How do you say monkey in French?
He says he likes a booba tea. Okay. Who did this comic? Yeah, this is Portacio. He's the artist. Whilce Portacio. Joe Weems is the inker on this. Joe Weems. I know Joe Weems did a little work for Reaper Destroyer, an independent book that just came out. I backed that book and have not received, hasn't come out, or I haven't received my copy yet for that book. But oh my gosh, blanking. Joe is the artist and creator of Reaper Destroyer. Joe, you guys know. But yeah, Joe Weems did some work for him on Reaper Destroyer. And then the writer on this is Ron Mars. So yeah, they fill this out, this out with some just filler material here. Blah, blah, blah. I never heard about this series, so I don't know if it was any good. Here's a Dale Keown drawing from the series. This Whilce Portacio pencils. Look how tight that is. Crazy good. Phil Notto. Oh, look at that Portacio. Love that. Such a great balance of detail and no detail, dark shadows, cross hatching and none in this. It's cool. I would have loved to see this compilation all just black and white, if I were to be honest. Here's a good before and after. This is Portacio. Sorry, there's a glare. Portacio black and white. And then this is the color. I don't know. I love the black and white. It's an Eric Canete drawing. Look at that girl's hips. That's awesome. That's black and white. Color. And then some sort of bonus story here I'm not that into. Anyway, there we go, artifacts. Cool. Black and white original is way better, Mark's Music Obsession says. I agree. I totally agree. I'm going to skip this last graphic novel. We'll go over that another time because I want to get to the ASHCANS. And I'm already almost 3 hours into this, and I haven't even gotten to the ASHCANS. So that was my big selling point or big surprise for this stream, was to go over some ASHCANS that I found this weekend, and they're pretty cool. So let's get to them. All right, here's the first one, and I can zoom in a little bit more because ASHCANs are smaller. So this is kind of funny. Like, this is a Jay Lee cover, amazing. Jay Lee does great covers, and at the time that this came out, what was this year? 1995. I mean, Jay Lee was like the dude, or, you know, he had hit his stride already and like made his mark as far as being an incredible artist with a unique style. So Joe Sontag, thank you, Mr. Monkey Boy, 1969. I'm horrible of not remembering that. Kinetic, yes. Cranberry said he's read Artifacts. Was it good? Was it a good story? What's the premise? Okay, so Jay Lee cover on this, and this artist Hoang Nguyen, I think he's Vietnamese. I've heard of his name before. I think he made a splash working on some Punisher stuff. So apparently this was his own creator-owned thing that he did with Entity Comics called Metal Militia. And then this was a little ASHCAN. So just for reference for people, this is a regular comic book size. And this is like an ASHCAN size, which I believe is 6x9. Oh, shoot, this is centimeters. Whatever. It's like an 8.5x11. Well, no, I guess that would be... If this is an 8.5x11. So then 5.5 by 8.5. Yeah, 6x9. That's close. But it's such a cool size. Such a cool thing. And one of the ASHCANs I had, they sold it. It had this cool actually like a cover that fit, like one of those like thicker ultra covers, thicker plastic ultra covers that fit the ASHCAN, which I thought was cool. And then engraved on the back here, it says Ultimate ASHCAN. So I think this was made specifically for ASHCAN size comics, which I thought was awesome. I couldn't find them. I think they must have stopped making them because there must not be really a market for ASHCANs. But I was bummed because I was like, oh, I'd love to have a smaller case to fit my ASHCANs in. All right. So let me zoom back in. Okay. So this is Metal Militia, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, which is 8 pages of art, black and white, in this little tiny format. I love it, though. It's something cool. If I do a book, I'm going to do an ASHCAN, or start with an ASHCAN, because I think it's just such a cool format. It feels very collectible. It's got to be a good price point, right? It can't be expensive if you're just doing a limited page, small run. But there's something collectible about it, and it's just cool teaser of what the book could be. And then I love that it's in black and white. But I don't know what happened to this artist. I'd heard of him, but he's never made like a huge... Like, I don't think he's ever had like a super successful book that like catapulted him to star status as far as comic book artist. It seemed like he was on his way because, you know, it's cool at the time. This is very much exciting image style artwork, you know, splash pages, huge guns, dudes, you know, running around shooting things, sexy women like that. That seems right for the time period. So I don't know what happened to him or where, you know, where he went, but it's cool. Like based on this Ashcan, I'd pick up the book. And I like that his rendering, like he used a lot of blacks, heavy blacks in it. It's kind of cool. Action packed, cool angles. It's neat. I have no idea what the story, I mean, well, here's the story. And this is the artist here, Huang Nguyen, celebrated for his work on The Punisher and War Strike. I think I've seen War Strike. I don't know. But kind of neat. So yeah, you just get like a little, and it's nice that it has a Jay Lee cover. You just get a nice little hint at the book. And enough of a taste to know whether or not you want to pick it up. And I can't imagine the production being that expensive on something like this. And as I mentioned earlier on, oftentimes these would be free at a comic book store, or you could pick them up at conventions, or in the case of some of these, they would be packaged with like Hero magazine, or a certain magazine, a trade magazine. All right. So that's Metal Militia. An afternoon, evening of live streams. Bancroft starts at 7, so no break, which I'm cool with. Oh, geez. Jay Lee also did that Astar Ashcan cover. 30 years, just like that. Scary. Yeah, Jay Lee was doing covers of all these books at one point. Said 7 p.m. That's 20 minutes since, multiple time zones in chat. Okay. 20 minutes? Yeah, I should be done by then. I literally talk about that book on my Art for Inspiration video today. Wait. The Metal Militia? You're kidding me. Premise is each of the characters has a powerful artifact, and I believe they each have their own titles. Yes, I think they all do. Wang Win is the rough name translation. Wang, oh. Got it. The pronunciation. Wang Win. Okay, that makes sense. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. We're like cued in here, Shelby. Totally cued in. They're all powerful characters in that universe, are given great powers through those artifacts, kind of like the X-Men. All right. Hero Illustrated or Wizard. Yeah, that's right. We were just, if you were here earlier, Mr. Monkey Boy, we were talking about that. And I think it was predominantly Hero Illustrated. I feel like they were doing that to get a leg up on Wizard, because Wizard would do trading cards for sure, and sometimes posters, but I do feel like Hero did more Ashcans than Wizard did. Wang Huin. He's got a crazy badass book out there right now, Carbon Gray. Look it up. Okay, awesome. That is awesome. Rocky and I sipping from the same mantra trough. That's right. You know, that's awesome. And I love it. I love it that you just mentioned it this morning. You can't really see it, but this has like a chromium touch to it. Good old Dale Keown deserved that. This one was with Hero. It's a little bent up. And I had mentioned this earlier, but I love that they numbered them too. So it's like you could collect the Hero, whatever Ashcans. So this was kind of cool. They did a teaser for Pitt number 3. Love seeing the black and white. The paper quality on this is a little higher quality than the Metal Militia one. It's like a glossy black and white. And probably because this is Dale Keown and Pitt, and therefore he has a lot more pull than Huang Huin. Gosh, I'm going to look that up. Carbon Gray. That sounds awesome. Look at that. That's sick. That's so killer. Dale Keown's so good. Again, just a teaser, but man, would that make you want to buy the book? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. They added a little gallery in here. So how many pages is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is kind of cool, showing pencils and inks. It's rad. Look how tight those pencils are. But I love seeing like the perspective lines in it and then how he cleaned it up here or inked it up here. I love this. This kind of stuff is cool for them to include. This page was pulled from Pitt #2 and never used. It's seen here for the first time. Love that. Like never before seen material. This is great. The Pitt that could have been. Dale gives a sneak peek at the original cover to Pitt #3 that was scrapped in favor of the one in front of this book. I actually like this better than this. But this is probably more to the story of Pitt, what was going on. But I love this cover. It's just rad. Classic. This was a drawing of Pitt that's never been shown before. It's kind of, it's like his nose is a little different. The way he rendered his nose here definitely had Hulk vibes on this, but it's awesome nonetheless. And then I remember this ad from when they were first advertising Pitt. The proportions in this, the perspective of this doesn't make any sense, but it's still so cool. It's just like he's crammed in there and his hand is coming out of the alley in this weird way, but it's awesome. It doesn't matter. It's really good. Completed spring 1992. And here's some more early sketches. Another pinup here. So yeah, it's fun little, and then they did a little bio on one of the characters that's coming up. It's fun little, just like collector's thing and to have. Shelby, you're in Arizona. Are you near this store, Bowie? Is it still there? Because I remember this as a kid, seeing the like Silver Surfer board in their advertisements, but I guess they were selling these. They had a few ASHCANS. It seems like they were super successful, so they kept doing it, which is awesome. So outside of just this one that was the premiere edition from Hero, they had these different ASHCANS as well. I know Image Comics did that a lot. They had like colored covers, like color copier paper covers, and depending on those, that was the different runs they had on the ASHCANS. And so you could get like a Wildcats one that was on blue paper, the cover, blue, just all blue paper, or you got one that was yellow paper, and they would be worth different amounts because one was more limited than the other or came out first before the other one. That was cool. I think they were just feeding into the frenzy and reusing artwork, which was pretty genius. They're not a thing anymore. Dale was BFF with the owner, who also used to sell. Got it. Bummer. Yeah, a lot of sweet Pitt images in there. Yeah. Okay, so that was that. The Pitt ASHCAN. Boom. This is a Hero Premiere Edition. So this is an 11. I guess Pitt was number 10. That's cool. Wetworks. So I think this was before, I'm pretty sure this is before Wetworks came out. So here we go. Just like the first time you were seeing Wetworks, and amazing. Just looking at Wils's stuff. It's incredible. Just looking at the black and whites. So good. Look at that page. And I know the colors were awesome with like the gold organic armor or whatever that they had, symbiotic armor, and he's like swallowing it stuff, but I just love seeing it in black and white. And look how much he like spotted the, I'm wondering like he was like, nah, I don't want to render that. Just like blacked it all out, or I don't know. It's great. It's really dramatic. Adds to the drama. Just so dramatic, that lighting. I loved Wils's tech on Wetworks. His like military tech was amazing. And then this was this was definitely filler. This stuff is awesome, but then this is just like, it's like a trading card, but I don't really care. Some of the characters had drawings, some of them don't. Like unfinished drawings. They're like, whatever. Gray square. Love that. Dane. I think is that Mother 1? Yeah. Super cool. Wetworks. Dale gifted the owner at Bowie his first published Pitt pinup from Spawn 1, and Todd was pretty mad about it. Wow. Isn't Todd from Arizona too? My gosh. All the like amazing comic stuff. Homemade Nashville hot skinless chicken tenders and coleslaw, some vanilla cream cheese with chocolate chips for dessert. Wow. Holy cow. Homemade Nashville hot skinless chicken tenders. That sounds amazing. Goodness. Now you got to send us a video. Well, I guess you ate it all, but you should send us a video. All right, here's the last Ashcan, and this will be the last thing I will look at. Then you guys can jump onto Bancroft's stream. Murder Falcon. I had no idea that they produced an Ashcan on this. I just read this. Too bad Adam's not on the stream, because I know how much he loves Daniel Warren Johnson's work, and he was totally hyping up Murder Falcon, which it was great. But who knows? I didn't know that Skybound did an Ashcan on this. And the amazing thing about this one is this is the whole first issue. So contrary to the other Ashcans that I have, which are like 4, 6, 9 pages, this is the whole first issue. Talk about teaser for the series. This is awesome. All black and white. Mike Spicer is Daniel Warren Johnson's go-to colorist, who's great, incredible. They're an incredible team. But it's always great to see Daniel Warren Johnson's artwork in black and white, let alone a whole issue. So this was a treat to find this one. I was like, wow. What? Hold on, let me let my cat out before I finish flipping through this. Todd and Wanda are out in Ahwatukee. Oh, Ahwatukee. I've never heard of that in Arizona. Nice. You should go over to their house, play baseball, drive around in his Spawn sports car or whatever. Mark says, make a dipping sauce from Chick-fil-A sauce and sour cream cranberry. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Have you ever heard of Raising Cane's, Mark's Music Obsession? It's a competitor of Chick-fil-A. And the reason I bring up it is because they just had one open up here. And it's actually from Louisiana. It was started, I believe, by LSU grads or alumni. And anyway, it made it up here to Northern California. And it's all the rage right now because it's new. But they have their cane sauce, which I guess competes with Chick-fil-A's sauce as far as popularity. And it's quite good. It's very different from Chick-fil-A sauce, but it's quite good. It's a lot more tangy, more like, I would say it's got more of like a mustardy, vinegary on the range of, as opposed to Chick-fil-A's is pretty sweet, but it's quite good. And their chicken's great. So this is awesome. I mean, this is another way to do it. Like all these other, so the differences are just really quick in ASHCANs are like, here we go, the ASHCAN, it's like lower paper quality, no words, no colors, just the artwork, black and white artwork, gives you a nice taste. Wetworks did a similar thing, glossier artwork because it's Will's, it's image, blah blah blah, and then they included like extra like info on the characters, whether or not you would read it or not. So that's another approach. No lettering, just the artwork, black and white artwork. Then there's the Pitt version, Pitt Ashcan, which is the black and white pages with the lettering and just the first. How many pages is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of the book, and then some gallery stuff, behind the scenes gallery stuff with commentary. Pretty cool. Glossy cover, foil cover, I mean. And then there's this version, the Skybound version, which is the whole book, black and white, finished with the artwork and with the lettering and the whole book. It's just in Ashcan size. So that's another way to go. And I could count the total number of pages, but it's a page count of a full issue. And a little bit of behind the scenes stuff here, black and white behind the scenes stuff. That's cool, sketchbook stuff. So, oh, maybe it's not the whole issue. I'll have to go back and check. Maybe it's not the whole issue, but it's a significant amount of pages here. So it's cool. They're all the same size, but the Murder Falcon one is obviously a little thicker. But there's something to that, and I love the Ashcan format. So I think that's a cool option to explore when it comes to creating my own comic, or selling something or hyping up something, as to do an Ashcan. It's fun, it's collectible, it's smaller, it's less production cost potentially, and it's black and white. Really cool. I love it. It's a whole nother collector's market that opened up for me. Now I'm going to do like hunts for ASHCANS on eBay, which is not good. Mark's Music Obsession says, I really like Raising Cane's. I know where the founder lives in Baton Rouge. Oh, okay. Is he from Baton Rouge? Nice. You know where he lives. Did you stalk him or what? Or is he in like a rich neighborhood or something? Yeah, I believe he's in LSU. I mean, anybody who's anybody went to LSU from Louisiana. So make sure you near a bathroom after eating Raising Cane's. Really? Hate you had a bad batch, Mr. Muggy Boy 1969. That stinks. Get it? That stinks. No, every time. Great laxative. Really? What was bad about it? It was just the chicken. The chicken's good. No? What? I wonder what ingredient didn't sit well with you. Like oily. That's a bummer. I like it. It comes with like Texas toast. I don't like their coleslaw. Texas toast. Their fries are really good. They got crinkly fries. I feel like some Raising Cane's right now. He lives near the lake by the LSU campus. Ah, I see. Those LSU alum, man, those grads, they are hardcore LSU lovers. I know a few of them, and they just, that's all they talk about is LSU. I haven't been there, thought about it. Yeah, try it out. It's a nice alter. I love Chick-fil-A. I'm a fan, but it was a nice alternative to have there. And I just brought it up because of the sauce. The sauce is very different. It's not like they're trying to be like Chick-fil-A. They have their own, and the first time their own recipe. And the first time that I tried it, I was like, I don't know. I think I like Chick-fil-A better. But then the more I've eaten it, I'm like, this is pretty good. Timmy Mello says they only sell chicken, but it's still quite delicious. It is. Yeah. We do Cane's almost weekly down here. I got the dip recipe. We'll send to you. No kidding. Isn't it like secret? The recipe? Because I know Chick-fil-A, now that Chick-fil-A, they sell their sauce like in supermarkets now. You can buy it, and I buy it. I definitely buy it. But I thought that Raising Cane's, like, they're pretty hush-hush about the recipe. I'm sure people have dissected it and create their own recipe. So yes, send me. I would love it. Woodrow from chat is a local chef, and he sent me the secret. Nice. Love it. Yep. Go Tigers. Geaux. Go Tigers. Rocky's getting anxious about the negative review for Raising Cane's, hence the sweating. Just tell us you love Raising Cane's, Rocky confess. I'm not nervous about that. I can do both. I don't have to be so polar, either Raising Cane's or Chick-fil-A. I can enjoy both. It's just the newest fad is Raising Cane's right now. But I'm sure I'll swing back after a while. They're both good. I can like both. It's the legit recipe I got. Okay. All right, I'm waiting for it. This better come in my box of stuff. Oh my gosh. Mark's Music Obsession says, I attended LSU for a bit, then transferred to full nerd school. Oh, my nephew got his master's in petroleum engineering from LSU. There you go. Great school. Huge school. Great school. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. All right, everybody. That was awesome. That was a long stream, but there was some good stuff. I didn't even get through everything, but I omitted one of the books I got. I'll pull it into another stream sometime. But thank you so much for joining me. Hit the like, smash the like. Go check out Bancroft's Art Chart stream, which I think is starting now. But also, stay tuned. I'm hoping to stream, like I'm thinking, maybe 70% sure that I'm trying to stream tomorrow to start the Steranko inks, because we got to get on that. I really wanted to start it at the beginning of this week, but schedule being schedules, I didn't get around to it, and I don't want to go through another week without starting it. So I'm shooting to stream tomorrow during the day sometime, and yeah, stay tuned for that. Other than that, have a great Wednesday. Thank you for being here. Spread the word, subscribe, like, smash, all the things, comment. I love it. Love you guys. The chat was awesome today. Great stuff. And
it's actually a really good sculpt.
Oh my gosh. I'm ending it. You shut down the party. Art and Times at J. Ryan. You shut down the party. Art Short Stream. All right. See you guys later. Procrastination is my country. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for showing up. Anyway, give me a like, Art and Times of J. Ryan, okay? Can you do that? I'm going to shut this down. Give me a like. I'll talk to you guys later. See you later.